Okay, let's go live. Everyone ready?
Yep.
Okay, let's go live. Alrighty, and we are live. This is Saturday Night One Shots with Gehenna Gaming. I am your host for the evening and storyteller, or whatever they call the person running Star Trek Adventures.
Q.
What do they call it?
It's GM, but I like Q better.
Q. All right, I am the Q for the evening. Younger John Delancey, I guess. Def Malkavian, aka Rick Wheeler. With me tonight are some very good friends of mine who you've seen in our games before, and one new face who actually used to run the game for me. I'll introduce him first. My good friend Jim Cushman.
Evening, everybody.
Jim, who are you playing this evening?
Tonight I'll be playing Captain Atani.
That's right.
A Betazoid captain.
Very good. Next, let's see. Move down from you. We've got Mr. Jay Thornton.
Hello, everyone. I am Jay. I am one unbeating heart on Discord and Twitter. I am playing Rec, the chief engineer, who definitely is the first one out the door and ready to fix anything and make sure to give the most accurate times that things need to be fixed.
No buffer zone
This
at all.
isn't lower decks. No lower decks here.
No lower decks. I love lower decks.
It's really good.
I should have put Badgie in this scenario.
Yes!
There's still hope. You can put him in yourself.
He's
And
trying
Jay,
to fake us out.
if I remember, Wrench is a human.
Correct.
Awesome.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot that part.
To your left, we have Rosie, who's playing Noth.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about Noth.
Yes, I will be playing Noth, the Chief Medical Officer, rank Commander, a Klingon. Yes, I will be she, her.
Yes, very good. And above you is a very damp dad. We've got Ben, who's playing Noba. Tell us a little about your character.
I am Lieutenant Noba, the Ferengi helmsman.
All right. So tonight we're going to kick it off with a captain's log and get right going into our story. If you've never played Star Trek Adventures, it's a freaking awesome game. And since I played it a long time ago with Jim as the person running the game for me, they've released a ton of books. There's a lot of material. I think anything you can really think of that's in Star Trek, aside from Discovery, is now in book format. So, yeah, check it out and enjoy. If you have any questions, this is my first time running the game, so I might not get everything right, but we're going to have a good time, tell a good story, and boldly go into some horror Star Trek tonight. So I will let Jim, Captain Atani, take it away.
All right. Captain's log. Stardate 46752.8. The USS Praxis is en route to Starbase 214. This outpost was rebuilt after the Dominion War and rests between the Cardassian Union and Tellurian Republic. Since the war ended, general activity and stellar phenomena have increased in this area. The Praxis is presently on a mission to deliver more crew and supplies to bolster the Federation's renewed mission of exploration in the region.
And as our shift change happens, we've got the crew slowly walking in onto the bridge for the start of the new shift as you make your way to Starbase 214. Who's walking in onto the bridge for the start of the new shift?
That would be myself. I'd like to make an entrance first. Captain. Here at where are we headed today on our first mission here? Where'd you say? The outpost?
Starbase 214.
Yep.
All right. Haven't been on an outpost in a while. I love always at home on outposts. Haven't been on an outpost always at home on outposts.
And who is next coming onto the bridge?
Noth will stroll off of the, I forget what it's called, lift, sort of wiping some fluid off of her hands with a towel that looks like it's already been maybe used a few times that day. And she is going to say, they started bleeding on the outside, showing us their honor. This is good. Hello, all. Are you ready?
Welcome to the bridge, Doctor.
Yes.
Off.
French.
Last but not least, the pilot of the ship comes up the turbo lift, almost right behind Noth.
I show up exactly the minute my shift begins. I am paid to show up exactly when they're getting no free labor from me. Lieutenant Nova walks in. Hello, hello everyone. Ready for our regulation length Starfleet shift? I know I am. And I go put my my booster cushion on my seat and take my spot at the helm.
Indeed, Mr. Nova.
Not long into your shift, Captain, you receive a Priority 1 message from Starfleet.
On screen? Or, well, tap it through. Or is it in the ready room?
It's wherever you want to take it, sir. The
Okay.
communications officer.
It's
types up.
priority 1. So yeah, Noth, you're commander, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Commander Noth, you have the bridge. I'll be in the ready room.
Yes,
and then
sir.
I'll stroll off towards the ready room and take the Priority 1 message in there.
And as you sit down at your desk and pull up the pad that is kind of vertical, almost like it's a flat screen TV, a familiar face pops on the con, but it's not a face you ever quite get used to. The man has a transparent skull. And it is Admiral Baudet. Once a ship freighter captain during the Dominion, helping the Federation bring Durasteel reserves to the front lines during the fights. Since then, he has joined Starfleet, worked his way through the ranks rather quickly, mainly because there were a number of Federation officers that bit the dust during the Dominion War. So, through his transparent skull, you see that he's not smiling like he normally is. But he says, Captain Otani, you're on
Yes,
your
sir.
way to Starbase 214, correct?
Yes, sir.
We just received a Priority 1 distress call from over by... I wrote the name down somewhere, everybody. Give me a minute. The planet didn't matter as much. Bellotti sector. The 5 different planets in that system are reporting an attack by an unknown vessel. We've dispatched a number of Starfleet ships to go check it out. You were one of the closest as you were en route to Starbase 214, which is almost directly adjacent to the Bellotti sector and Bellotti system. Is this something you feel you can divulge from your present course to take care of for me?
Absolutely, Admiral. Do we have any any identification on the ship attack?
As we understand it, the attack just happened and reports have been slow coming back. We're not sure what's happening exactly out there, but it does not seem good.
Indeed.
Any messages out, we assume at this point, would be scrambled. Normally, as you were thinking attacks that would happen like this, there's at least some more information that comes out on Distress Channel.
Absolutely, one would expect. It sounds like this is a coordinated situation. Do we have any threats in the area?
Well, I mean, other than the Cardassian Union, who are now in a state of rebuilding and, occasional political turmoil as they're rebuilding, we don't expect it's them. We also don't expect it to be the Talarian Republic. So, who this could be is still up in the air. We know that there are Breen in the area, but it is pretty far out. And it is close enough to the wormhole that it could be a threat from one of the other quadrants as well.
Indeed. Well, Admiral, please send us all information we have received, if you would be so kind, and we will head that direction post haste.
Will do. Admiral out. And the con goes quiet. You're still in your ready room, I believe, with Noth,
yep.
Correct?
Captain to the bridge. Con, let's put in a course for the Bellotti sector.
Aye, sir.
Maximum warp. We have a priority 1 distress signal to respond to.
I will engage warp drive.
All right, and then I'll. Do I have my XL? Is he on the or he or are they on the other shift?
They were on the other shift, but
I mean, they'd be woken up for this.
correct.
Yeah.
So your XO is Tactical Officer Saleya.
Saleya. Okay. Okay. I'll actually call Commander Saleya into my office and brief them on what's going on, and then we'll take exit to the bridge.
All right. Within 5 minutes, Saleya arrives, looking a little groggy, but uniform is clearly well pressed. They're ready to go. Captain, yes, you wanted to see me, sir?
Absolutely, Commander. We have a priority 1 distress signal. We do not know who our target is.
It's an attack, sir.
It is an attack. We have five. Are they Federation planets?
They're not Federation yet.
Okay, so they're allied.
Correct.
Okay, we have 5 allied planets reporting an attack from an unknown ship type, unidentified ship type, and Starfleet is no longer receiving any distress beacons, distress calls. So we have to assume they are jamming subspace communications. Beyond that, we don't have any further information. We are going into this about as blind as we can be.
You end up getting a few more bits of information that trickle through in a message from the Admiral. The 5 planets that are there is a Federation medical facility that was built. Primarily, it was built to be of an assistance to the people of the Bellotti sector. Much of the commerce from that particular civilization have been assisting in the efforts to rebuild Starbase 214, which was damaged after the Dominion War. In fact, ships like yourself may have even dropped in there from time to time to pick up supplies to rebuild Starbase. So, as said before, they are not a Federation planet. However, they are quite friendly, and there has been almost like a private sector transfer of goods and services as well.
Okay. Commander, we're going into these planets. I mean, we've worked with them before, I believe. They are definitely Federation friendly. We need to go. We need to assist. These people are in trouble. We need to find out what's going on.
Aye, sir.
Dismissed.
It takes, we're going to fast forward to when you guys just about get to the bloody sector. You're about 2 minutes away from dropping out of warp into this unknown situation. And I'll give you back control of the bridge and the actions you would like to perform before physically going into the sector.
Okay. Noba's my helmsman, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wrench, my chief engineer. Oh, no. Good. I'd like to do a long-range scan if we could.
Yes, by all means. So we don't actually have a science officer player, but you do have a science officer named Nicheb.
Nicheb or Icheb?
Nicheb.
Okay. He, her, him pronoun? Sorry.
Her.
Her?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Nicheb, please execute long-range scan so we can have some kind of idea what we're heading into.
Yes, right away, sir. So I'm going to roll for this NPC. It's a higher grade NPC because it is a bridge personnel. So I'm going to have a little bit higher stats for this person. I need to get below a 13 to get the results that you are hoping for. One success. Unless you want to spend a momentum to re-roll one die.
And we have the ship assist rolling on the ship's science rating.
Affirmative. We should have a ship die.
Yes, that's true. So the ship die. Let me take a look at that. Yep. So let me roll the ship die. That's a miss.
Chihuahua. And it's difficulty 2, I assume.
I put it as difficulty 1.
Oh, okay. So we do have a success.
Yes, but if you would like
Okay.
more, you can spend momentum, more information.
I don't think we've built
Is there
any.
Is there anything I could do engineering-wise to strengthen signal?
Yeah, I'll let you roll 1d20 to assist, spending a little bit of the
1d20,
ship's
okay.
power to.
All right, Captain, I'm going to see if I can reroute some power.
Thank you, Mr. Wrench.
I got a 17, so what does that mean?
That is not.
Yeah, that's probably not
right?
gonna.
Lower is better, correct?
Yep, you want to roll under.
Well,
plus
in your case,
You are.
what's your reason or control?
Control is 11.
Okay.
in your engineering or your science.
In my what? Science, you said? Is a 2.
Or engineering.
Or engineering is a 5. So that would have been a 16. So
Or drats. Sorry.
Well, I rolled a
does that
15.
mean I missed it by 1?
No, you actually got it.
All right.
Yeah. So I rolled a 15, so you actually did get it. It's just on there, but so the first success warrants you the information that there are a number of destroyed ships at this location.
Okay.
Some from the Bellotti sector, and at least one Federation ship has been destroyed. The second bit of information is that the life patterns and structure of the ship that is likely the attacker is the Borg.
Yeah, Q's fitting. Q is a fitting title. Thanks. What is Borg doing here? Oh, I was going to ask more questions, but I'm not going to use it. We want to bank that momentum.
We could
I would
spend.
think.
We could acquire threat.
There was a glorious battle fought here. We should learn all we can.
Captain, should we put a red alert on?
Absolutely.
In the meantime, we're flying into this.
Captain,
Yes.
if I remind you of rule of acquisition number 62, the riskier the road, the greater the profit.
Indeed, Mr. Nova. Red alert, shields up. as we enter the sector. I don't think we want to.
And
I don't unless you guys have a specific question that you think would gain us some heavy intel here, like a heavy advantage. I'd rather stack that momentum
I just want to see
for a later roll, especially
Is there,
against the board.
way I can use my engineering to manipulate the shielding to be on a oscillating modulation to deal with the Borg.
I absolutely,
actually
I love
can.
that. Yes.
So I will have you roll control and engineering, and I will roll a third die as well for the.
3 dice,
Yep, you're going to roll one for the ship.
the 3 20s.
Yes. What is your control and engineering? Add it up.
16.
Okay.
Okay, plate of armor.
And then what is determination used for again?
So that's an
Like a-
instant crit success.
Okay.
But in order to use it, you do need to challenge. Effectively, you need to challenge one of your like personal mantras. That is your values.
Okay.
So you kind of gotta go
gotcha.
counter to do something counter to one of those values.
Gotcha. All right. So
So, like, if you're always
Alright, so
playing it
it's-
safe, then doing something that's putting you directly in the line of danger is doing that.
anyway, so I rolled a 20, then a 2 and a 10.
What do you have in what was it, engineering?
5, and control was 11.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's,
So, 2 successes.
what do you
well,
have for focuses?
Because he might have just rolled a critical.
Yeah, if-
Electroplasma power systems.
Yeah.
If you yep.
Yeah.
That's
For
okay with the
focus?
GM.
I'll give it to you.
Sweet. So that's 3 successes.
So you got
on
3
that one.
successes.
And a
And-
I
combination.
will
But also
actually-
one complication.
Yes.
So Rick gets threat.
Makes the game fun, keeps it interesting.
So I'm going to give you 3 extra temporary shields to go into this scenario. I do have the character sheet for the USS Proxima, which someone did ask in the chat. It is an Akira class starship. It's got some teeth. It is a tactical ship for sure. You have phaser arrays. You've got photon torpedoes with high yield. Now, for the bridge crew, just so you know, your phaser arrays have a trait. They're versatile, which means as you attack, you actually will gain 2 momentum if you hit.
Nice.
Your photon torpedoes have the quality of high yield, which means if you were to attack an enemy ship and cause a breach, you would actually have 2 breaches happen, not just the one. You have improved hull integrity and a blade of armor, which I think gives you an extra 3 resistance for your armor. Rapid fire torpedo launcher. You can switch targets and reload without a penalty to your accuracy. So you got some good stuff going on. Are you doing any other actions before dropping out of war?
What do you think, guys? Do we have anything else we need to do to prep?
I mean, my actions I think are happen once the fight starts. so-
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I think I'd say the only thing I'm going to do is a ship call because we're going up against the board. Attention ship, we are entering a system that is an allied system with the Federation that is currently under attack from what appears to be, is it a cube? Sorry,
A Borg cube.
it is a board cube.
Well, that's what they normally use, right?
I'm
I don't know.
knocking
We didn't get that
on
in our
wood and
sensors.
hoping it's a sphere.
I've only watched Deep Space Nine and Lower Decks.
forgiveness.
Is it a cube
It's
or
a
a sphere?
cube.
It is a cube. Okay.
However, the Borg vessels do come in various shapes, spheres and a whole lot of other shapes, like a diamond. That
This is true.
Oh,
Well,
no,
yeah.
a
If
Taurus.
we've got the time, and I'm out. Like we're calling back up.
all about helmsman.
Yeah, that's not something we want to be messing with. Okay,
So
we are entering
you're-
a counter. Yeah, and everyone brace for board protocols.
Your XO speaks up, Saleya, Commander Saleya. Sir, it would be prudent to possibly contact the Admiral and let them know what kind of enemy we're up against. Perhaps they will request additional reinforcements based on the nature of the enemy.
Good thinking, Commander. Please make that happen now.
Aye, sir. And so, you drop out of warp. And the first thing you see is a bunch of Federation, well, at least one Federation ship has been destroyed, and you're headed directly towards some of the debris. What kind of maneuvers would you like to make? As you see the cube in the distance, it is at extreme range. There are a number of smaller vessels from the Belati. They're warp capable, but they're probably like at a warp 3, warp 5 kind of Enterprise era. They are losing ships fast, but they are putting up a resistance, even though it's futile.
Mr. Nova, and evasive maneuvers immediately.
Certainly, Captain.
All right, and the roll for that, Daring and Con. Difficulty 2, there's a lot of debris in your way.
I rolled a 2 and a 1. So 4 successes.
Ooh,
On
what do you-
I have the evasive action focus, as well as helm operations.
So you, and well, do we get a ship die for that as well?
Yes.
Yeah, structure
Anything that
and
uses
con.
the ship.
Yeah. You guys are rocking it already. Man.
Oh, that's probably my only good roll of the.
The entire session. So yeah,
What a roll, though.
con 2, and we'll do engines. Roll me one more die, sir.
I rolled a 4.
Another success. So how many was that total? You rolled the 2 die.
I
got a
rolled 5
critical.
successes.
Yeah, that's five.
Yeah, 5 successes.
That's brilliant.
Your Ferengi and his 4-lobed brain. He gets it done. No, but what kind of life did you lead before you entered Starfleet? If you don't,
I grew up on a farm, sir.
you do a lot of like tractor racing or something there.
I sold tractor parts back to farmers.
Fascinating person. Okay, you zip around all of that debris very quickly.
Did we gain momentum there?
Gained a lot of momentum there, to be honest. So let's see. You gained 3 momentum.
Right on. That puts us at 4 for stock right now.
Correct.
Nice.
And as you enter the battlefield, you hear very chilling sound that you have only heard in reports. And you never once thought that this is something you would hear during your tenure as a Starfleet officer. You know, it's funny, they wrote it down in the core rulebook, but now I'm not seeing it. But I knew it by heart, but I don't want to fuck it up either. There we go. We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile. And as you have not quite yet been targeted, I will let you have initiative to strike at the ship.
All right.
I'd like to use my engineering skills, if I can, to try to do some scans. Since I have cybernetics as focus, try to see if there's any weak points in that ship, in the cube.
Sure, you can give me your reason and engineering.
Since 12, engineering, so okay, 17. How many dice?
2 is base.
Two,
If you'd
sir.
like to use the momentum to gain an extra die, you can.
What is? Yeah, I'm probably gonna steal a momentum for this one.
Okay.
Gotta look for a weak spot.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
3 dice. So reason and engineering is 17. So I have a 3, a 16, and a 10.
I
So
think
that's
3 should count as
So
2.
four,
break
so
the
yeah.
sex.
That's 4.
4.
Yep, that
Yeah.
should be 4.
So you're gonna bank one more momentum, so you're back at 4. There are a large number of cybernetic individuals on that ship, not to be totally expected. However, as you scanned the area and the ship itself, you have determined that there are a number of cybernetic entities on the 5th planet. Well, so the Borg have beamed down a contingent of drones.
Captain, there are contingency of drones already on the 5th planet. Just to let you know, some detecting cybernetics down on the planet.
Thank you, Chief.
You also have discovered that the first 2 planets in the system, which are heavily populated, have suffered a number of attacks from orbital bombardment of some kind. One of the planets is starting to crack. And it looks like one of the other Federation vessels that has arrived is doing its best to beam up as many people as it can. It's a Galaxy-class ship.
And Captain, one of the 2 first planets, is actually beginning to crack and is actually going to need emergent evacuations of population. There are millions on the planet.
What's the name of the ship that came in?
Demeter.
Oh, the Demeter?
Yes.
I see the Demeter on sensors. I'm showing that they're working evacuation efforts. Comms, can you please signal to the Demeter to see if they need assistance there? Otherwise, we're going to go on the attack.
With your permission, sir, I think I'll head to sick bay. I think we'll be seeing some dying soon, and I'd like to see them on their way.
Yes, Commander. Absolutely. We will likely need you ready for triage.
Excellent, sir. And she heads off to sick bay.
Mr. Nova, in that scan, we didn't catch any weak spots in their shields at all, did we? Like any particular dents?
You didn't find weak spots per se, but when scanning for cybernetic life forms, towards the end of your scan, the number of drones on the ship, while they didn't decrease, they began moving more erratically. Instead of being at certain posts or stations, it seemed like they all started moving at once, which would be a little irregular during a situation like this.
Captain, it seems some erratic drone movement in this particular part of the ship. Not like typical drone movement that I've read about.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Nova, let's put in an assault vector on that, on where that location is, on the cube. I can't imagine that many drones are heading to one spot for no reason at all. And I think we need to exploit that spot, because even if it is bolstered, we have a good chance of taking out quite a few drones in the process.
Hi, Captain. I will roll for attack pattern.
All right, give me that roll, sir.
So I rolled a 16 for the ship on weapons and con, And then I got 2 successes for myself.
All right. So yeah, weapons. That's it's not the attack itself, is it, or is it just the lineup for the attack?
This is like making the difficulty lower.
Okay. So you got 3 successes.
2 successes, or I don't know. I got a 16 on the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's
weapons and con.
Yeah, weapons and con are only 13.
Yeah, so just 2 successes.
Cool. So 2 successes. You've lowered the difficulty, say by 2.
Well done, Mr. Nova.
If you would like, you can give me an attack roll now. For the ship, it is actually the size of the ship, which in this case, it is
I don't want to hear this number.
a scale of 5, which is not too
Oh, no.
shabby.
Wait, the cubes have only a 5?
No, your ship.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, no, the Akira's a...
Oh, the
a decent-
cube.
Yeah, it's like, that's a
Oh, the
tiny
cube.
cube.
Also, Captain, gratuities are appreciated.
in your dreams, Frankie. So it is a scale of 5, and it's also with your weapons, which are 11. So you have potential to do 16 damage, I believe. Actually, no, it's scale and
Well, are we going...
security.
Yeah. Scale and security sounds right. Which gives us 10. Yeah, that's for our phasers.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go area spread. I think we're gonna go. Uh-oh. Wow. My voice assistant just kicked on for no reason.
Alexa, kill the
Ironically-
Borg.
Right? No joke. Like, and it's I'm not gonna say the individual's name, but it was black with green contrast, and I was like, oh, that's ominous. Yeah, so I get we'll make the attack. I mean, we'll make our attack task roll to see if we even hit.
All right. Give me the roll, Captain.
So we got a bonus to hit, don't we? Or no, it was the difficulty.
The
difficulty
difficulty
is
was
reduced.
lowered.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, what's the difficulty we're looking at to hit?
Uh,
Or are you...
It's a large ship. I'm going to give you a difficulty 1. Anything else you bank will be momentum.
Okay. But to hit that specific spot.
To hit that specific spot, it's a difficulty 2.
Okay. Well, I am definitely going to, if you guys are okay with it, I'm going to use a couple momentum on this one. I want to make sure
Sure.
we hit
Yeah.
solid.
Mhm.
Okay. These are just me that's just me getting out the dice. Okay. And then I'll pull out one for the ship. So that way we're rolling 5 there. Okay. And what's my task for this? What's my task goal? Or rather, I would assume my weapons technician.
Right. So you could actually have your Commander Saleya do this, as they likely have a higher security than you do.
I like that.
All right. So Saleya has a total of, you need to beat a 15.
15. Okay.
Correct.
Does
Plus
she
you-
have any applicable focuses? Foci?
Yes, there is a focus for like a targeting specialty. So,
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So are you gonna go ahead and roll it?
if you want to, you can.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and roll it.
Cool.
I'm gonna roll all 5. So 4 for her, and then 1 for the ship.
Correct.
Okay, I've got 11, 14, 17, 18.
So I think that's 3 successes.
That sounds correct.
Yep. And are you doing torpedoes or phaser?
I think we're going out with phasers because then we can modulate the frequency
Excellent.
for story purpose. Holy crap, that's 10 challenge dice. Okay. Oh, yeah, we hit, didn't we?
You did. So,
Okay, and bank of momentum.
Yes. So 3 successes. You're banking 1 momentum. You're currently at 5, I think.
Okay.
Yep.
I used 1 for that, or I used 2 for that one, for that roll.
Use
Okay,
3.
so
I love the
I
second
think we're
die
back to
was
3.
yeah, you're back
2.
to 3.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so that
Okay.
is a direct hit. The shields buckle and break on that section of the cube. It penetrates the hull a little bit. You can see that there is fire and scarring on the inside of the ship. And it begins to rotate in a manner of speaking towards the Praxis. And starts to fire at the Praxis. As you have completed your attack roll, it will also make an attack roll.
Oh, come on, shields.
3 temporary shields.
Weapon 30.
And the great thing, we've got 8 resistance too.
Yeah, but it's got the scale on us.
It does. And weapons, I'm sure.
Also, I just googled a Borg cube. Oh no.
It's nasty, isn't it? It actually
Yeah.
rolled terribly. I got a 19 and a 16. It needed a 15. to
One
hit.
shitty queen.
What a
I'm the best pilot.
Yes.
queen. So it got 1 success on you.
Oh no.
Damage for that. Weapons, which is 12, and security, which is 15. Now, your ship has a number of shields, but it also has the ablative armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on the sheet you got us at 8 resistance.
Yes. Your resistance is actually a little higher than that
Oh, is it? Oh,
because of the
alright.
ablative. So I'm changing that to 11.
Yes.
So
This
it
up to
burned
11.
through all of your shields but 1. And you took no hull damage.
Wait, it went through all that resistance and
I think the resistance
our
is for the
shields?
hull, right?
no. So resistance is like soak.
Ah, okay. Perfect.
So that's like natural, like bounce off the shields kind of stuff.
Perfect. Okay.
Once you get past that 11, then we start hitting into shields, and that's where we start going. We're
Gotcha.
at 98% shields.
All right. So you are now down 4 shields. You still have
Okay.
12.
Does that affect the Borg cube's shields based on your when we damaged it?
Well, they actually get to roll to see if they adapt.
Okay.
Because they do not.
Oh yes,
Suck it, Borg.
yes. Oh, we're gonna hit him good on this next one.
At that, a few more Federation ships do show up. There is a Defiant class. And a number of smaller Nova classes as well. That begin a
Yes.
attack run after you were targeted.
Okay. I'll throw out there the comms. All ships inbound, Starfleet vessels, attack location that was just hit by Praxis. That it seems to be a weak spot, and we have intelligence believing that it is of significance. Please focus all fire on that location.
So the resistance for the Borg ship is actually 13. And they have a shield of 18. The volley from the 3 other ships after yours did burn through some of that. They've taken some hull damage. And it's now back on the USS Praxis. As the cube actually starts to fire wildly into space, missing a number of targets that whiz by a number of the different Federation ships, and now the Bellotti ships as well, which are not as fast, not as well equipped as all of yours. The Borg are effectively missing, noticeably.
Wait, the Borg.
Run scans on the Borg cube.
Go ahead, give me a roll.
All right, and I'm going to use my cybernetics and computers. Can I use 2 focuses?
I think it's only one.
Yeah, it's
if
just
you
one.
have one, it applies basically across the board to your roll.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
So am I rolling
2d20.
reason and engine?
Yes,
Engineering
reason and
again?
engineering.
2 dice?
Yes.
And you can
I
add
steal
more
a
if
momentum?
you. Yep, absolutely.
All right. I'll steal 1 for now because I want to leave a little bit of a bank.
Okay.
And 7, 11, and 13. Nice. 3 successes.
I also rolled for the ship, which succeeded. So
Yes.
4 successes. You're going to
Okay.
bank 2 more momentum. We're now back up at 5.
Nice. 4.
4 successes.
Right.
Something is wrong with the cube. Something is wrong with the Borg. It's not just that section that you had scanned before, it's the entire cube. The drones seem to be wandering aimlessly. In fact, not long after you committed your scan, they had stopped firing. And the flickering pattern of a transwarp gateway begins to open in front of it.
What are they trying to get away?
However,
It's the Queen's trying to get away.
as time passes, the gateway is not stable. They are failing to keep the gateway in a continuous pattern that leads into another section of space.
And it's stopped firing now?
Correct.
Fire on the gateway.
Hmm. Okay, we have a work. They don't stop for anything unless they're severed. Like they've been severed from the collective. Is my assessment. This is players, not player character, because this is one of the great things about Star Trek is there's thought behind it. What are you guys thinking? Do we want to try and disable them? I mean, they're already pretty disabled. Do we want to try and board and see what's going on?
Well, I think we should try to figure out how to destabilize the gateway first, right?
We don't want that gateway
We
to
don't
open.
want that gateway open.
Yeah,
Well,
That's
what
like
I'm
the
trying to say. Close it.
yeah.
Get rid of it before.
Well, if it's not stabilizing, that means they don't have the ability to. The Borg are cybernetic to the point where they, if they want to do it and they can do it, they're doing it. If they can't do it, they can't do it. So if it's not stable, they're paralyzed.
The
So
cube
we can-
begins to move closer and closer to the non-stabilized gateway.
Mm.
Our main mission here, though, isn't it to assist the people of this quadrant that have been attacked? I mean, if they leave, that's not directly related to what
Aren't
we're
you a
supposed to be
Klingon?
doing right now. Hey, I thought we were doing the
No.
player thing.
I am, yes, exactly. We're still playing.
The chatting, the chatting,
No,
figuring out.
I would
Kapla.
say the best
Applause!
bet is probably to destroy the Borg cube. As much as I would love to analyze what's on there.
Okay. Do we have any inclination of what's going on the planet that had the drones down there? Because he picked it up in that first scan.
I did. The 5th planet had some drones on it.
Right. Do we have a change status in them?
So I'm going to give it to you that as you scanned the cube again, you did scan the wider area. It seems like that hospital did come under attack. However, the drones down there, or at least can't tell about the drones, but it seems like weapons fire has ceased.
Mm.
I wonder if they've taken the planet.
Mm.
Granted, the drones seem to only be centered around the medical facility.
All right, let's.
Which is actually
Okay.
one of the only things on this planet. It's fairly
Yeah.
desolate. It's like they terraformed the one area and put a dome over it with shielding.
So I'm thinking, unless you guys disagree completely, I'm thinking we leave the cube alone, we break off attack, and we try to hail the medical facility.
And could we have one of those like support, like the Novas? Like
Yeah,
we're more
what are
fit for
the
combat,
other-
right?
What are the other Star Trek vessels doing? No, the Star Trek vessels. The other
Star Trek,
Federation
yeah.
vessels. They're all Star Trek vessels.
It's all Star Trek.
That one Babylon
X-
5
an
vessel is
X-Wing
just causing
arrives.
trouble again.
Yeah. You said there was a Defiant class in there, at least one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the Defiant can handle any attack solutions. What do you say we go down, find out, we hail them and see what's going on and see if we can't go down? What do you think? Yeah. Okay.
Follow your lead, Captain.
Santa Nova, break off pursuit angle on the cube. It appears to be inert, and we have other ships in position to take care of any problems that arise now. Let's go see what's on. Let's go. Let's hail the medical facility and see what's going on.
Aye, sir. Engaging impulse drive.
As your transmission goes out, the cube enters the transwarp hub. Which was,
Breaking one.
yes. And explodes
Yep.
in a spectacular fashion, which shakes you and the other adjacent vessels.
At least we were moving away from it.
Yeah. Yeah, not
Seriously.
zeroing in.
That would have been a short game.
You receive a hail from some of the other Starfleet vessels around. I almost said Star Trek vessels. Thanks, Rosie.
You're welcome.
There is a Captain O'Day, Captain Peters, and Captain Cheb, who all basically tie in one hail, as if it's like some bizarre Zoom call like we're on, to try and figure out what the hell just happened. And they've included, obviously, the practice into the conversation.
Captains, what do you think? What is your assessment?
I've never quite seen anything like that before, Tani. You know, they started firing wildly. The gateway looked like a bunch of crap. This is Captain Cheb, as he's speaking on the thing. He is also a Ferengi. I'm at a loss for words. It seems like they did a ton of damage on those first couple planets. You know, we got the other Galaxy class ship, the Demeter, over there, up in with evacuations, and it seems like the other couple planets here got hit pretty good. So I guess we should probably focus relief efforts on those. Another captain, Captain Peters, says, I don't know, should we stick around, or is there anything else here we need to look into? I mean, how many of us do we really need to check out? Should we check out the other planets?
Let's well, Captain, let's definitely coordinate our efforts on seeing if there are any survivors from the ships that were damaged, and let's see if we can't focus further evacuation for the planet that suffered severe damage, that is on the rank of destruction, or on the way to destruction.
Captain O'Day from the Demeters chimes in that he's going to continue to try and evacuate as many of the people from the planet that we believe can no longer sustain life. But yeah, we should keep an eye out. We don't know if this is going to be the only run that the Borg make here. They just lost a valuable asset. We don't know how they're going to follow up with this. Clearly something happened with them and their primary motor functions. I'm assuming they're going to want to know what that was. This might not be the only encounter we have with them today.
Absolutely, Captain. I think Praxis is going to head down to the planet to check out the Federation medical facility. See what the situation is there. I suggest, or I recommend, that all ships stay in the area for evacuation and potential threat counter in case we do see another Borg ship come this direction, because we still don't even know why they're here.
Correct. I mean, this is pretty far out there. Granted, we have a starbase nearby, but this is further out of where a lot of the other core civilizations and galactic empires have presence.
Well, I think we all have our separate occupations for this task. I'm gonna go ahead and call Praxis out.
And the comm goes silent. You see the ships, a couple of them kind of maintain a perimeter around the sector, just kind of doing long, deep range scans. O'Day is continuing to not only use transporters, but shuttlecraft relief efforts. A few do get beamed over to the Praxis. Just trying to feed up some of their own medical beds. They coordinate this with Chief Medical Officer Noth. You see it come across your desk. You have a subordinate who is trying to take care of all that, like a chief of staff nurse. But it's currently well underway and being handled. They let you know.
Okay, Mr. Nova, follow us, of course, to head down to the planet. Commander Solea, you have the bridge. I will be in my ready room to provide a status report to Starfleet.
Hi, Captain.
Walks off into Starfleet to call the Admiral to let him know what's going on.
All right. So things proceed as you have asked for them to do.
I do have a question for the Admiral.
Okay.
Admiral.
Okay, so he pops up on the red room screen.
I'm sending you the logs from the sensor logs from our encounter with the Borg cube. It seemed to, in its last moments, be confused.
Confused.
Almost as if it was severed from the collective shortly before it was destroyed. It tried to enter an unstable transwarp,
which is
terminal.
Suicide.
Absolutely, and it's completely inconsistent with how the Borg operate. And even prior to that, our sensors picked up that they were acting abnormally for the Borg, sporadic, chaotic almost. My question for you, sir, though, is they seem to focus their attention. They have some drones down on the planet that seem to be inert now. But what is at this medical facility down here that the Borg might be interested in? We need to know this so we can potentially be ready for an oncoming or a secondary attack from the Borg. If one's here, many more can come very quickly.
I'm assuming you did not in any way attempt to hack the Borg to get them to lose their mind, so to speak.
I'm sorry, sir. Hack the Borg?
Yes, any kind of viral program or anything to mess with their readings. You know, the thing that all of you wonderful captains come up with all the time to try and circumvent the way they operate. You know, Picard had a crazy idea years ago, taking a drone, making it think the impossible, sending it back. And
I believe I read that report. I believe the drones later became named. But at any rate, sir, no. We made no overt effort to do so. If we did, it was purely incidental, and I don't know if we could recreate it.
Interesting. So you asked a valid question. What is it that the Borg consider of value here? Are you alone?
Yes, sir. I'm in my ready room. Do we need to switch to a secure channel?
We should.
Absolutely. Type in the codes.
Cool. It flickers out when he sends an invite. You're back on a secure channel. This you can share with your bridge crew, but it should not leave the praxis. This hospital is not an ordinary medical facility, and it is way out in the middle of nowhere for a reason. It's not per se. I mean, in part, it's to help the people of this sector. However, Starfleet needed a place to put some of its more problematic citizens.
Problematic, sir?
Yes, the ones we cannot cure of certain cognitive infirmities. One such gentleman was a bit of a savant when it came to Starfleet intelligence, statistics, and determining future outcomes of events. In fact, he was incredibly useful during our conflict with the Dominion. There were some caveats there, I'm not going to lie. A gentleman by the name of Jack. Do not actually know his last name. He
did he work with with Deep Space Nine and Captain Sisko, did he not?
Yes, he did. In fact, the reports say that Chief Medical Officer of the station, Julian Bashir, had tried to work with them because he himself is an augment. Jack is also an augment, which is why his statistical analysis has always been lightning fast and of great use to the Federation. Make no doubt about it. However, between those actions where he helped us, heavy air quotes, and now he had committed a grievous murder. One of the other augment people he was rooming with or trying to get treatment with, an older gentleman named Patrick, I believe, was killed in a fit of rage. Since then, Starfleet intelligence has been disassociating from his services, and he was moved to this outpost to essentially live out the rest of his life without becoming an issue. So if the Borg had caught wind of Starfleet intelligence and had known about this individual and his clarity of foresight, it is quite possible that the entire reason the Borg staged this attack were to have an attempt to assimilate this gentleman whose vast knowledge of our entire political and warfare civil infrastructure would have likely have been contained in his eidetic mind. Including his work with what I believe is Section 31, which we also shouldn't talk about. It would be a catastrophic loss to the Federation if this gentleman were to be assimilated.
Indeed. Admiral, with all due respect, that would have been vital information to know coming into this situation. And I will leave it at that. It is on record of my noting.
Noted, sir. He also did not know who was attacking this entire sector. One man in an entire sector is hardly a needle in a haystack worthy of drawing every wolf in the galaxy.
Indeed, Admiral. Do we have new mission tasking, sir? Are we to protect this man?
If I would check on the facility if he is still alive, if he has not been assimilated, and by any means necessary, make sure that the Borg do not get their hands on this individual.
Yes, sir. We will make that our our primary duty while we try to find out what happened here.
And Captain Atani,
Yes, Admiral.
the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one, if you catch my drift.
Indeed. Does not make me comfortable, but I understand your meaning.
Bude out.
Okay. Captain to senior staff, meet me in the conference room in 15 minutes before we go down to the planet.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Chief Engineer Wrench has run more scans of the surface, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
Cool. Why don't you give me a roll, please?
It's 2 dice, correct?
Yes.
And just, what do you want? Reason and engineering, or?
This time let's use insight in engineering.
Okay. And let me see. Can I use my focuses of computers to try to
Certainly.
increase? All right. So is that 3 dice then, or just still 2?
2, but you get the ships, so it's 3.
Okay. 2, 3, 5.
That's impressive. So you actually get, because you, well, yeah, so 3. Yeah, I'm going to bank you 1 more momentum. So you have, actually, you can only have 5, right? Total?
6 is cap.
6. All right, so you are at your maximum of 6.
Did you just get 6 successes?
Oh, I
Is it-
have, what is it? A 2, 3, and 5. So
And you
does
have a
that make
focus in
6?
computers?
yes,
Yes.
he does.
Yeah, he does.
That's a great
We're gonna
focus to
die.
have. It's a great focus to have. So you have 6 in momentum now. I think you lose 1 per transfer of scene as well.
Yeah, when we transfer scenes, we'll lose.
Correct. So on the surface, you can tell that a number of the medical staff and inmates are deceased. There are a number of inactive drones, but some active drones, and that the hospital seems to have taken some fire. However, it is intact, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of overwhelming structural damage. There is a safe place to beam down, roughly a medium zone distance away from the structure itself.
I notice anything about environmental controls of the facility, if they're becoming more humid or
You can tell that
warmer?
nothing quite like that. However, it seems like there is a power outage.
Does that? If we can find out, can we see what the source? Is any of the damage near where main power would be supplied from? And if that costs a momentum, I'm understanding of that.
It would cost a momentum.
But that is up to you, Mr. Wrench, as you ran the scan.
what am I rolling? Sorry.
Oh, no, not actually.
Yep.
It's just if you want to ask the question.
Yeah, I asked the question. Sorry, I was having difficulty hearing.
No worries, no worries.
So you're using the momentum?
Yeah, we'll use the 1 momentum then.
Yeah, I'll use the moment.
The power outage does not seem to be caused by any kind of weapons damage. It's as if someone literally turned the power off.
From the inside.
Okay, lovely. Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. We haven't beamed down yet, have we?
No.
Ah,
No.
Not until you tell me.
Did the commander called us to meet with him? Did he share information?
Oh, absolutely. So yes, everything that the admiral told me, I vomited out to my senior staff.
Excellent. Noth has a focus in genetics. Would he have read about Jack's case?
Yes.
Hope so.
Okay. Or would she have read about Jack's case? All right.
So you would have all the background history for watching those 2 episodes and any of the books he may have been in.
Good. Want to make sure I'm not metagaming on that.
I'm just going to keep getting threat if you do.
Yeah, that's true. Right. And the only other thought that I had from the way you were describing the actions of the Borg, maybe it was like they were sick or something. So I'm just going to file that away because Noth also has knowledge of infectious disease. So she's going to be keeping an eye out for anything like that as we're
Okay.
on the ground.
I believe you have a medical tricorder on your character
Yes.
sheet because of the
Yes, I do.
CMO. So, yes, that's something you can absolutely look into.
Delightful.
So, are we ready to transfer our scene from the USS Praxis down into the unknown medical facility? And if so, what are you taking with you?
So before we go, Commander Noth, did you share with the group your experience with Mr. Jack?
Yes.
Okay. Commander, do you think by any chance Mr. Jack and his level of intelligence, and I ask this only because the Admiral specifically asked me if we had implanted a virus of any kind or transmitted one to the Borg, do you think it would be within Mr. Jack's capability to not only shut down power at the facility, but also to upload, if you will, a virus of some sort to the Borg cube?
If he gained access to the correct equipment, absolutely.
I was afraid you would say that. Okay, that was my big thing. I wanted to get that out there. All right. Well, it sounds like we have a facility to go investigate and a potential savant, if you will, to locate. Commander Solea, for this one, I'm going to exercise captain's privilege. I'm going to request you stay on the bridge. And then I will take a security team, Commander Noth, Chief Wrench, and Lieutenant Nova.
Understood, sir. I will maintain a standard orbit and keep you apprised of the situation from above.
Thank you, Commander.
Now, before we change scene, would you like to take a brief break where we can go take a quick bio, get a quick drink? People at home can do the same, and then we can continue our Star Trek adventure.
Much like that.
Perfect. All right, everybody, we will be right back. So stay tuned, and probably take 5 to 6. See you then. Thank you for joining us. And we're good.
can't believe you killed Patrick.
Huh?
I'm upset.
Pouring myself some Romulan ale.
There you go.
Hey, everybody.
Hot
Rick,
mic.
as a
They can hear us.
oh,
We
Oh.
run our lower decks scenario sometime.
that would be
hilarious.
so fun. That'd be fun. Rick, you're a jerk. You killed Patrick. As a Star Trek fan, I'm mad at you. You're muted. Okay.
Romulan. Come on, Grash.
All right, and we're about to go back live. Everyone good?
Yep.
Welcome back to Saturday Night One Shots, Star Trek edition, with Star Trek Adventures and the crew of the USS Praxis, up to their elbows in Borg viscera and parts galore. Oh wait, that's not right now. But there are definitely some Borg chunks floating around in space as a cube had entered a transwarp gateway that was not quite functional. Those Borg were acting quite strangely, if I do say so myself. Thank you for everyone joining us in the chat. We've got some good friends with us here. We got Grash and let's see, we have Blue Cloud and a couple of other friends. Jetpack Operator, thank you for joining us. So we're going back to our session where the crew had just decided to beam down to the surface of the planet. Crew, are you ready to beam down, or is there anything else you're grabbing before we do?
Are we beaming or taking a runabout?
It's entirely up to you.
For people to set their weapons for whatever they're taking to oscillate to deal with any remaining Borg that might still be down there.
Yeah, I think I'm actually a fan of the runabout idea.
Very good.
Because I have a focus in small craft, so.
Jason!
It gives us some more.
Watch me
computer-
roll 320s.
Nice.
And they died a fiery death.
Nob just has
I'm
to
gonna-
flex all the time. Apparently.
I'm gonna just make sure I bring my basic equipment, my communicator, my tricorder, pat my pockets, make sure I've got that stuff, and emergency medical kit.
I'm bringing enough Latin to ride my way out of any situation.
And I'm bringing my uniform, tricorder, phaser, and probably a bit of an engineering computer kit, anything that I would probably throw in there for cybernetics.
Yeah, I was gonna say a good cybernetics kit would be good.
Good idea.
Also, my phaser.
Yeah, I'll go down with my stuff: uniform, comm badge, Type 2 phaser,
Ooh.
standard armament.
Very good.
Trying to
Yes.
slam the cover of my suitcase to beam down. It's like,
Now, you are the captain. Are you bringing down any other security personnel to assist you in sweeping the base, the grounds, etc.?
I am gonna take a guess and say you already have an NPC ready for my chief of security.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
I will take down my chief of security
the whole
3 red shirts.
and at least 2, maybe 3. Let's go 2. Let's go 2, just to make it fun. We'll go 2 red shirt. Well, 2 security personnel.
All right.
God, I wish we had the security chief from Lower Decks. I love him.
The Bajoran guy.
I love him so much.
in the private Zoom chat, someone had sent a message saying, "Give Rick someone grimy to slaughter," or something like that. So that's just kind of people we are when we run these games. There's a reason I pick these lovely people to play with me.
Someone needs to get pulled into the vent first to set the tone.
Exactly.
So we got two red shirts. We've got a Ensign Ransom, and just for fun, because this is Star Trek, not a Private Jellicoe. Because Admiral Jellicoe is such a treat.
And then who's my head of security?
Your chief of security is Veranda.
Miranda?
Veranda.
Rank or pronoun?
It is a they.
They? Okay.
Yes. It is a joined trill who has had so many different hosts that they don't even bother anymore.
Okay. Gotcha. No, that's fair. And rank? Just
They are a lieutenant, junior grade.
Lieutenant JG?
Yeah.
Lieutenant JG's my suit. Got a real one transferring in, right?
Is that your actual Navy or military rank?
What's that?
Is that like an actual military rank you had?
Absolutely. Lieutenant JG is an O2.
That's what I am in this.
Nice.
Junior grade.
Fantastic.
So you have Ensign, Lieutenant JG.
Well, I wasn't sure if you had one
Lieutenant.
because I know you were military affiliated.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I mean, it's a Navy rank.
Right.
Yeah, we use the correct one on my side.
Oh, military jokes. Perfect. So you land your runabout to the surface of the planet, Bellotti. You are about medium range away from the facility itself. Doors to the shuttlecraft open. It is fairly dusty, dry terrain. It kind of looks like maybe a rural Texas kind of. Some small vegetation. The sky's a little bit orange color. Facility, not too far in the distance, does have a number of tracks in the sand, likely the Borg that infiltrated the facility. And there are a number of people walking about outside, kind of in a haze. As well as a couple of drones that are both wandering and non-functional.
Noth immediately goes over and starts checking the wandering individuals. See if they're okay. Did they look like patients?
Some of them are dressed like patients, and others are actual personnel of the facility that look like they may have had some kind of concussion, or there are some wounds on a couple of them, a few lacerations. One of them looks like they have like a grayish color skin. A couple of like darker, veiny looking things about them as well from a distance. If you read it closer, you could probably tell a little bit more. I'd say if you get into close range, you can use your medical tricorder.
That's what I was going to aim for.
Perfect.
Are there any dismembered boards, like dead ones, around?
Strange that you say dismembered, because there are a couple of Borg drones that are missing their arms and legs.
Do I see any torsos?
Yes.
any that won't attack me if I come near them, basically.
At least one, yeah.
All right, I want to see if I can try to find its core chip, so I can figure out their memory and what was going on. Hook it up to my little computer I brought down with me.
All right. Let's
For
go
engineering.
with Noth first, with your particular medical tricorder scan.
So you want a reason and science or reason and medicine?
Reason and medicine, please.
All right. So that is do-do-do-do. So I got a 3 and a 10, so that's definitely 2 successes.
Mhm.
Um,
You have a focus.
would it be 3 with my focus in emergency medicine?
Yeah, I was actually just looking at that. I believe it is because a couple of the people that do have lacerations, it seems like it mostly seems like glass from when the facility took the shock of the cube explosion. It would look like. It seems like that's what a lot of the dust that's been in the atmosphere from when you landed. It seems like it didn't do any permanent damage, but there may have been some concussions from people on the upper levels, broken windows, indicative of a massive pressure blast. The person that is with the grayish looking skin, you suspect that they were infected with Borg nanites.
Noth is going to point that individual out, not get close to them or not get any closer, and say that they've been infected and today could be a good day to die, but tomorrow would be better still.
I've been infected with those things? That's it? That's all you got?
Try not to worry about it too much.
That guy's still alive. I thought he was dead.
What am
Just
I
stay
supposed to do about
over
this?
there.
How come I'm not hearing those things? Aren't you supposed to hear those things? Don't they like connect you or something?
So is this a question that sort of exits the medical and into more the engineering? The Borg are weird.
You're talking to the ST.
Sorry,
Yeah.
talking to the storyteller.
The Borg are weird. You do have you got to focus in history. Not so much on the engineering side, but I mean,
Would I hear this conversation?
yeah, and from what you know about the Borg, yeah, you get infected with nanites, and not long after, you kind of get plugged into the collective as they slowly spread
also
through
know
your
that-
body. And
There's also a queen that they usually respond to, and that's why, correct? I would know that.
yeah, but the Queen doesn't have to be anywhere, even in the same quadrant necessarily, for them to be active.
So they might not be hearing anything because the queen might be dead, or there might be an issue with their nanites.
Or they were severed from the collective somehow.
Still, Noth is going to suggest that individual not get close to anyone, and just kind of.
I don't think
Try
this
not
is
to-
contagious, lady. I don't even know what the hell's happening here.
Rosie doesn't remember. Are the nanites? How contagious are the nanites?
Not at all.
Not at all. Awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
no, they don't spread like that.
They spread by the Borg actually taking little tubes out
Oh,
of their
the injections.
arms and
Okay.
yes.
I
Tubules.
found a picture of that.
Yeah, it's not too often you get to walk around with nanites
Yep.
I don't
and
know.
be aware of it.
Okay.
Geez, fine, I guess. I don't know. My shift's over. Maybe I'll just go home,
You should do that.
live a normal life. I mean, you're wearing the blue. You're a doctor.
Yes.
This is what I'm supposed to do. I mean, take some Advil or something.
If you could wait here at the facility while we consider the situation and determine what your status is at the moment.
Okay, great. I guess I could just make some Hasperad out of the replicator and that runabout, and then, you know, kick back. I guess.
Don't
Yes.
go on the runabout.
See you when you're done, I suppose.
There's a fee to use a replicator. Give us Latinum.
Oh God.
5 Latinum strips for a license.
Mr. Nova. That's quite enough.
So he actually has enough of the Klingon doctor's bedside manner and begins walking away to ponder what the hell is actually happening to him.
What's your assessment, Doctor?
Well, he's certainly been infected. However, doesn't seem to be suffering symptoms at this time.
For now.
And yeah, I think our chief engineer was doing something.
Chief engineer, Mr. Wrench,
Yes.
you are.
Yeah, I'm
checking
digging
out-
into some Borg torso,
Mm,
using my phaser, cutting it open.
you just have to play a Hakata anywhere you go.
I didn't say I was eating the Borg.
Give him time. There might be some Worcestershire sauce in that medical facility.
I prefer ketchup.
A little bit of hot sauce. That's some good eating.
Yeah. All right, so why don't you give me a roll for some of your skills, sir? Let's figure out what is going to be the most applicable thing for you to use when you're attaching an Ethernet cord into a Borg's nostril to find out what's up.
Finding that little chip inside the torso.
Let's use your insight and your engineering. Gives you a 16. And yes, you do have your cybernetics as a focus. So anything below a 5 will get you a double success.
Okay, cool. And then how many more do we have of, was it momentum?
You have
Yeah,
5 momentum. This is going to be a difficulty 3.
All right. Can I steal a momentum for this?
Yeah, I think that's a good use of
Anyone?
momentum.
All right. All right, so I'll use it. All right, so that's 3 dice then. All right, that one's definitely not 1. A 20, a 2, and a 2. So 4 successes.
Persist. Yeah, one complication.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Basically trying to scour, like, see what was going on in the Borg network. Why they became erratic and what happened basically before the cube exploded.
So you want to know what exactly is happening with the Borg.
Yeah.
Yeah. You bend over and you start to hook up your computer into the back of his neck via a little probe. The information begins downloading into your computer. It has a number of shocking data. You see that his brain waves and the signals that he was getting from the collective not long after they entered the system, maybe 20 minutes or so, the Borg received what looks like to be an erratic communication from one of the drones. It seems to have emanated from this planet at the medical facility that quickly spread throughout the collective as a whole, everywhere. And then the Borg in this general area attached to this cube were then cut off from the collective, in which they were directionless and kind of like a baby out in the wild. You know, some of them were literally infants that were grown in labs that don't have a personality before they were assimilated. Some of them may have been assimilated during this very
Did the
attack
Borg
or
ever have
last
a
week.
personality?
Correct. So there's going to be a differing number of experiences and people, but you do know that this did cause a mass confusion amongst the board in which the collective protected itself rapidly, shutting off and severing the connection to all of those in this area.
I share
and
that
on
with
the
everyone
planet.
on the team. Okay.
And as you're getting this information, the Borg's eyes open wide as he looks at you. And his mouth drops open. And it looks like those nano tubes that are usually on their wrists. There is one in his throat.
Yeah,
And
back away.
he kind of like throws up, and a cloud of nanites hits you in the face.
Lovely. And
it's disgusting.
Yeah. Oh,
it is disgusting. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Chief, are you okay?
Yeah, I think I'm fine. I just coughed this cloud of. Do I know they were nanites?
You
Or
would
was it just a
suspect.
random cloud of.
You're probably, if you were more of a medical expert, you'd be like, oh, that was nasty. Maybe I caught something. As an engineer, you know that they have nanites. It makes you probably concerned.
Yeah, no. I take my tricorder and scan myself. I'm like, for nanites.
That's a difficulty 0. It's kind of like checking for bed bugs or lice. You have them.
Lovely. Yeah, it seems I've contracted the nanites from this Borg, and I also relayed all the information that I learned from the computer as well.
Dr.
So just
Chief, have you...
shoot me if I start acting weird.
Yeah. Noth is going to approach you. And is the Borg that spewed the nanites doing anything else?
It's deactivated.
Okay. It's creepy.
Yeah,
She is
try living
also.
with it. So try living with them.
She is also going to scan you just for kicks. And then based on the fact that another infected wasn't hearing anything, she's going to ask, how do you feel? Are you hearing anything not of yourself? Do you feel a
Hey, hear
need
you.
to assimilate? You hear me.
With your tricorder scans, his body temperature has decreased.
Okay.
Down to about 86 degrees.
Oh, so I'm probably not feeling
He is a human.
too well.
That would actually be indicative of early onset hypothermia.
Wait, we use Fahrenheit in the 24th century?
You do hear, because I'm not looking up the conversion chart.
Well, that would take forever. We'd all be converting it back and forth. Do you feel cold?
Man, I do feel cold. Kind of clammy.
Your scans have quickly shown that they have entered his lungs, mucous membrane, and are spreading toward his body and replicating.
You are infected.
Really?
Oh, yes. Perhaps we should continue on and monitor your condition. Hopefully learn what is going on here.
Do you have anything in your hypo spray that can help me?
Do I?
Maybe like a painkiller, narcotic.
I mean, I don't think he's in pain right now. Do we have a blanket or a
Hypothermia
jacket?
is really not comfortable.
Yeah, no.
I'm shivering.
Yeah, do we have a
Probably.
blanket or a jacket
I
or
mean,
There's
probably on the
likely-
runabout.
probably in the
Yeah,
runabout?
probably in the runabout.
All
Oh.
right.
Good thing we brought the runabout. I don't know who I'm saying that to. Everyone agreed to it.
Hypo spray will not help you right now. However, there is a coat in the runabout. I can go
Here's
get
some
that for you.
earmuffs.
A coat. Great.
Here's a
That will
space
help
blanket. Go
stabilize your
crinkle.
body temperature. We don't need
to
you
see how you-
developing hypothermia as well as Borg.
Chief Engineer Wrench,
Yes.
you not experiencing any of the things that you would have learned in Starfleet Academy associated with being infected with nanites. There's not been a single stray voice in your head whispering about we are the Borg. Nothing like that. It's radio silence.
Being infected, not assimilated.
Correct.
Basically. Although I wonder if I'd need one of those little regenerator things that they use.
Mm-hmm. Well, no. See, yeah, this will be interesting how this pans out. Because you kind of have to need the regeneration. At least my understanding, to need the regeneration docs, like 7-9 uses, you'd have to full assimilation and everything. I don't know. This is gonna be fun.
I don't know. What does Q say?
Walk around and find out.
I go get the coat in the meantime.
Yeah, essentially the feeling I have is you're a time bomb.
Yeah, that's
Thanks. You really have great bedside manner.
White
I do,
shoes,
don't
black
I?
coat, black hat, Cadillac.
A credit to my species.
So we're just gonna whisper to the security team, just keep a gun on that guy at all times.
All right, are you heading into the facility?
absolutely.
Yes.
Looking for somebody who is looking for the facility commandant or what have you.
Looking
Whoever's
for
in
someone
charge.
alive.
You start walking in, and you notice that there's a number of medical offices. The inside of the facility itself, fairly state-of-the-art Federation. Looks like it was a pretty advanced one. Like you've seen other Federation medical facilities. This one in particular has a number of. Like the first floor doesn't have too many of them, but there are some patient holding cells for people who might have an infectious disease, where they might have to use more of a PPE setup to go in and speak to them, like force field generator rooms to try and keep some of those pathogens at bay. There is a chief medical office on the first floor, not too far from when you walk in. The head of the facility would normally be in there, and that would be a good place to look. Other than that, there are a number of what look like to be patients roaming the halls. Some of them infected, some of them not infected, and a number of Borg on the ground whose legs have been
God,
removed.
it's cold in here.
They removed.
So are they, if they're on the ground, are they completely inert or just immobilized?
Immobilized.
And not trying to like crawl up onto their stomach and move around?
It's almost like they lost the will to live and someone took their legs. There is a patient in the hall who is biting one of their faces.
Can we tell the species of that patient?
Yeah.
Olean.
Okay, so I'm gonna as an empath, what am I getting? What kind of overall emotion from the people in this facility am I picking up?
Confusion, terror,
Well,
and
because that's what you sent from me.
shocking lack of emotion from many of the inmates. As if there are a number of people here who are just adult violent sociopaths. However, coming from the medical the head of the facility office, it's absolute terror. There's someone in there who's feeling absolute terror.
Who's my chief again? Sorry. Veranda? Lieutenant Veranda.
Yes, sir.
You're with me.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
I want you to take point. We need to. I'm sensing something happening in the chief medical officer's office. We need to get in there now.
Sir, the Borg who are on the ground immobilized, should we do anything about them? Should we shoot them, or?
At this time, they render no threat, and I don't.
Please don't shoot us.
We have a ongoing threat, and if it's the chief medical officer that is in trouble, we need to intervene now.
Aye, sir.
Sir, if I may, our chief engineer was infected by a Borg that we deemed no longer a threat. That was proven false.
Indeed, let's not put our faces in their faces.
I don't think I was making out with
as a standard protocol. Leave them be. Yeah, everybody
Social
mask
distancing.
up. Social distancing and masks. No, let's stay clear of them as much as we can. Let's stay clear of all patients here, as there is something definitely awry. But I sense an immediate threat in the CMO's office, and we need to intervene as quickly as possible.
All right. As you begin to move down the hallway to the medical office, there is one of those rooms off to the right, which holds patients, obviously, sometimes for observation. Other times, if they are put in, I won't say a timeout, but like a disciplinary measure. This is obviously kind of like a mental asylum in the future. There is a 12 to 13-year-old girl who walks out of one of those rooms holding a bear.
Sorry,
And-
holding a what?
A bear. Like a,
Like a teddy bear?
like a teddy bear.
Okay.
I really hope like a teddy bear.
holding a giant bear.
And she looks at Lieutenant Noba,
Oh no.
the smallest of the ground crew. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
How old are you?
I actually don't know.
And why are you hanging around these grups?
What's a grup?
They're grown-ups. The grown-ups. The grups.
Oh, because they're
You're
very
not supposed to be
profitable
hanging out with the grups. Don't you know what they do?
make profit.
They all try to kill you.
Well, everybody tries to kill you. That's just good business. Listen, war is good.
So
for
you're just like a
business.
small grup. You're not actually like me. And she turns, and part of her face has been fully assimilated and is metal. And as you get a little closer, she seems to be holding some kind of cord leading into the room she was behind. She starts kind of talking to herself. They don't want to play. No, they're grups like the rest of them. What do we do with grups? And man, you bonk them on the head. That's right. You bonk on the head. And she walks into the room. And she comes out, piggyback riding a Borg, who's walking around with her on its back. And she kicks her heels into the side of it and begins running straight at you.
So this all on fours Borg is like galloping.
Oh no, he's standing up like a
Oh, okay.
hominid.
It'd be creepier if he was galloping like Shia LaBeouf.
Actual cannibal child.
Running for your life.
And
Well,
I
So
will.
how wrong is it to shoot a
yeah.
child?
So the person who has the highest daring has the initiative.
Daring.
Pretty sure that's not me.
I have a 10.
9?
I have a 7.
And
Oh no, we didn't take the fighters.
So
no, wait. Yeah. What about
Miranda has a 11.
Yes.
Sir, set the stun.
Set to disable the Borg.
Aye, sir. And she rolls to fire at the Borg. She gets a 20 and a 5. So a success and a complication.
Hooray!
She didn't have a focus that applied, did she?
No.
Do the support teams get focus?
I think they get one.
Also, the support people are like an awesome mechanic in this.
Yes, they are.
It's like, does it make sense for all of the leadership on the ship to go down at once? No.
Absolutely not.
Your side characters, everybody else can play.
All right, so she has a Type 2 phaser, much like your captain.
What?
She's a...
The lieutenant. The lieutenant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not the girl.
Okay, I
I found this neat
like,
weapon.
The murderer Teddy.
Get that.
I found this really cool weapon, guys. She shoots the Borg directly in the kneecap as it's running. Part of its arm begins, those tubules that you've heard about, it actually extends far out of him as if it's a long whip. And before he's able to swing it, as he's now in close range, not quite reach, the phaser fire hits the Borg in the kneecap, tearing it off, and he falls with the girl on his back, face planting onto the deck. As he lands, because you got a complication, the tendril then whips out and grabs Lieutenant Noba by his ankle, yanking, and you fall to your feet on your back. You don't take damage, but you are now prone.
Oh no.
The girl is screaming, "Bonk, bonk! Bonk on the head!"
Who's next in the initiative order?
Because I
I
have.
think it might have been Commander Noth. You had a 10, right?
At a 10, but I think Wretch also had a 10.
No, I had I think it's 7.
All right.
Daring is 7. So yeah.
So then Commander Noth is going to use her handy phaser and try to shoot that Borg.
All right, please give me your security and
Security and daring.
yes.
Okay, so the magic number is 14.
It's a good one for you.
Okay, so a 14 and a 19. So one success.
One
Barely.
success. Sadly, you do not have any focuses in combat,
Correct.
though you are a Klingon.
Yeah, my only combat focus would be mean right hook, but we're not in
Correct.
brawl.
All right. Where are you targeting on the Borg, and is this a lethal attack or a non-lethal attack?
Center of mass. And would my character know if the Borg react at all to phaser? Like, not phaser, but like stun, or would that do nothing generally?
I don't know if we've ever seen anyone use stun on a Borg in the entire series.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
shoot
I'm
to
drawing
kill.
a blank.
It's a
Yeah.
shoot to kill protocol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Use that
Um,
bat left.
I don't have my batleth.
Funny
It's
you
not
mentioned that.
protocol.
Well, funny you mentioned that.
Do I have my batleth?
I
I'm-
considered being like, Commander Noth, you might want to bring your batleth with you, but then you didn't. But then the cool ST in me said, well, you know, Star Trek Online did have those really cool like laser batleths. It'd be pretty bitching to
Oh my
have
goodness.
one of those in this game because I get to do what I want because I'm
Yeah.
cute. So you do have a handheld. It's like it's a piece of iron almost that's bent. It's like a two-handled device. It looks like it's got brass knuckles on the top of each side. And as you hit a center button on them, it does light up with a holographic but
deadly.
batleth that is easily transportable.
Say it's a good day to die on the knuckles.
And you know, you are a
We
medical
Star Wars now.
Now you
Yeah, I
are
was gonna say it's a bat-led lightsaber.
Yes.
so you are a medical professional, and you know most doctors are sworn to do no harm. However, on your character
But-
sheet, I would like
Looking for some adventure and do some harm. So yeah, I'll say shoot to kill. Because I mean this we want the spork is not a good idea. The kid is infected. Deal with it later.
Yeah, I couldn't make a Klingon medical officer and not put on there.
Do honorable harm.
Perfect. So you are attacking with the batleth to the org.
Yeah, let's do that.
Perfect. All right.
You've made me so happy, Rick.
Your holographic but deadly batleth pierces the top of the head of the Borg, right where the kind of like they plug into their charging chamber and brain connects with a clean slice, and the Borg goes completely limp and inert. And the 12 to 13-year-old girl who is riding him gets up and starts stomping on him. Wake up, Tin Man! Wake up! And she takes the cord that she has plugged into her face that was connected to his body and rips it out. Now look what you did! You broke my toy!
Yes.
I'm telling!
Who will
are
you tell?
telling?
She starts walking away.
Shooter.
I don't know. Not
I
will
also agree
follow.
with Shooter.
I want to see where she tries to. Who is she gonna talk to?
I don't want to find out. That's why I'm going to shoot her.
And she begins to walk into the head medical
Listen, Right, remember.
doctor's office.
rule of acquisition number 74: knowledge equals profit.
Frankie, you lack honor, but knowledge is necessary for triumph and victory.
Sure.
I didn't by chance pick up anything off of any emotion from the little girl, did I?
You would pick up that she is a lot older than you would have guessed. Like, there are years and years of repressed memories. Several hundred.
She doesn't have spots on her side of her face, does she?
No, not at all.
Okay. What the fuck?
Well, I'm spooked out. Let's nuke this place from orbit.
Okay.
Out of character.
Yeah, exactly. Out of character, Rick. You're definitely putting this at odds with Starfleet. That's great. I love it.
Let's shoot a child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way all the way.
Out of character, Rick's memory off of brain time. This is one of the children from the TOS episode, Miri, in which the Enterprise crew beams down and finds out that there are a bunch of children living on a planet who a medical thing was happening. They all tried to extend their lifespans, and oh my gosh, it worked. But then all of the people who have hit puberty turn into like these zombie-like creatures and try to kill everyone. They go insane. So every time an adult shows up, all of these kids are like, kill it, kill it, kill it. So they were all like taken away and like, okay, you're going to eventually turn into a grown-up, and we fixed this problem. This child is someone who did not continue to live a normal life. She is stuck in this mode where she never left the planet and no one was able to actually help. Years and years of this traumatic living experience, 300 years or so, have caused her to not mentally progress.
It's for her own good, I think.
But not
Shooter?
yours.
Yes.
Oh my!
We just tell him the Borg did it.
She walks
Holy
into the head director's office and begins talking. Somebody.
Here's my tricorder and scan what's in there.
There is a humanoid life sign. 2 humanoid
Is
life
it
signs.
hers? Is one of them cybernetic?
No, one of them is several hundred years old.
Her. What's the other?
Well, you know that in character now. The other one is approximately a 45-year-old.
All right, so one's old and one's young.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them is like a 45-year-old
All right.
Orion life sign you're getting.
I was gonna say, how old is Jack?
So one's a Methuselah.
Jack is not Orion.
Oh, I know he's not, but how old is Jack?
Roughly,
Uh,
at this point, he's probably mid-40s.
So I say that, to think
Yeah.
of this 2 in there. One that's several hundred years old and one that is in their mid-40s.
Several hundred Vulcan?
I have no idea.
Anything else about the other one? Are they like Danubian?
I don't know. Are they both human?
One of them is Orion. One of them is an unknown species, but she's 300 years.
So unknown and Orion.
Just letting everybody in Starfleet now. Ferengis, Klingons, Orions.
A woman runs out of the office and she's like, "Get away from me!" And she pushes past the young girl. Seeing Starfleet officers, and you could feel this, Captain, immediate relief.
Okay.
And her eyes are completely wide. Oh my God! Thank you so much. We got to get out of here, like now. Okay.
What do you mean, Doctor?
Like
Or Dr.
Van Houten.
Van Houten.
I scan her with my tricorder.
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. I have been holed up in my office, terrified with this, and she points. She has a single hand phaser. Yeah, most of our security personnel died as soon as the board came marching in here, heading downstairs into the hallway. And
Doctor,
yes,
do you
sir.
know why the Borg?
Well, we've got some high profile patients here, and I don't know how much I can relay on that matter, but
Where is Jack?
he's in the lowest level of this facility.
Is he contained?
As much as we'd like him to be.
Does he have redundant power systems on his containment unit?
He does.
To the best of your knowledge, is that redundant power system working?
We can check as soon as we get
Yes.
Jenica out of my office.
Jenica?
Jenica.
What's yes?
Who's Jenica?
That sociopathic
Yeah.
12-year-old who's hundreds of years old. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the one that's hundreds of years old?
Yeah.
The child.
She's a medical experiment gone awry from a long time ago, and she doesn't age. She's not right in the head, and she's incurable. She's generally
Right in the head?
sedated.
That's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Do you have a secure area that we can retreat to, where we can have let's call it uninterrupted communication?
My office is as best as it gets. I've been hiding behind a desk there. After the Borg all went inert, I just kind of held up in there. I noticed and heard a number of power tools being used in the hallways. Peeked back out, and then I noticed the Borg were missing leg, and I don't even want to know what that's.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Um, Chief Rich,
Yes.
go ahead and send your scans of our Miss Jenica up to the ship.
Will do.
All right, and then I'll hit my comm badge and call up to the ship. Praxis, this is the captain. Please,
Celia here.
thank you, Commander Celea. Chief just sent you a life sign or a life form type. I need you to beam that life form out of the location it is currently in, and preferably into a operational holding cell here at the facility, if at all possible.
This is
If
a
not,
prisoner,
just
sir?
out. Affirm. I think the technical term is patient, but let's treat it as a prisoner, as she has presented herself as a dangerous to the crew.
Aye, sir. And no longer a beam does beam up Jenica into the ship.
All right.
Sir, I'm reading that there is a Borg life sign within feet of you. What's going on?
Commander, we are trying to work that out. The Borg life sign is inert, or is immobilized.
Can I
That
scan
cannot
the
be
Dr.
It's
Van
wrench.
Holden?
That cannot be possible, sir.
Oh.
It has been moving alongside you.
I just turned to wrench.
Oh,
What?
uh,
I'm fine.
Wrench has begun growing small buds of funny little Borg
I'm the cutest.
pustules that are now spiderwebbing across his face, going closer to your eye. Still no voices.
So should we like evac him?
so yeah, that's my. So out of
I'm fine.
we'll go comms with S.
Just a flesh wound.
Now, you can remove Borg nanites. However, it is very difficult.
Not
Yeah,
something
you
I'd
need-
want to do in the field.
Yeah, no.
No.
And that, so that's what I want to ask, because my inclination is to beam him up to sickbay under quarantine, and that procedure at least be prepped, if not started. But I also don't want to pull a PC out. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
It's all right. Happens.
And you're not going
Just
to
take
help
over
me
the
on
ship.
this.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna take over the ship.
turning to Dr. Van Holden, Noth is going to ask if there's anywhere where a procedure could be performed, somewhere with some.
We actually have a lab on the level below this one, above Jack's, which has both engineering and surgical capabilities.
Captain, would you like me to go to the lab with Chief Engineer Retch and see what we can do along this
fine.
front? You may feel fine, however, containment.
The coat's great.
Commander Noth, if you feel comfortable executing such a procedure, the only thing I will ask is you do it with the most careful haste and take some security with you. And please report back as soon as you are in the lab and secure, and proceed with helping Chief out, so he doesn't need to carry around that big coat anymore.
I'm not sure the code is the problem, sir, but yes, sir. And Noth will gesture to one of the red shirts and say, "With me," and we split the party.
Yep. We sure do. We sure do.
Okay, so Commander
I'm
Noth,
fine.
you are going
Let me
with
just put my hands around you.
Jellicoe.
No.
You're going down to the second level with Jellicoe, Ransom, and Wrench, correct?
Well, I didn't realize I was taking Jellicoe. I thought Jellicoe was on the ship.
No, Jellicoe came down with the security party. It is Veranda, Jellicoe, and Ransom.
It's always room for
Oh,
Jellicoe.
Oh, I'm
Jellicoe.
sorry.
That was fine.
Jenica is the creepy
Correct.
child.
Yes.
Jellicoe is okay.
Yep.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
And Jenica was moved to a different facility, a holding facility somewhere on the ship or
Correct.
somewhere on the planet. Not to the ship because, virus.
Ah. Gotcha. I misunderstood. So yes, she is now in a holding cell on the planet, not the ship.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I absolutely don't want to bring that up to the ship.
I am
if
a
possible.
storyteller who says, yes, 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 and I come up with things that happen. So that's good that
Yes.
you told me that.
And that's why I call you Q.
Yeah.
All right. So party 1, me, Wretch, Jellicoe,
And Ransom.
Yes.
Ransom.
What are the rest of you doing in this facility?
We're going into the CMO's office
Okay.
and sealing the door. And we're having a nice little talk. We'll get together, a little chit chat about Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Okay. You enter the room, and she sits down, gives you a seat as well. Captain, ask away. What are you looking for?
What is happening here, Doctor?
We experienced a power outage.
More specifically, before the power outage, before the Borg, what is going on here at this facility? Because I'm getting a little less information and a little less information than I think is necessary to maintain the safety of my team and complete my mission. So please, we know about Jack. We know about the general purpose of the facility. What specifically, and I'm going to guess, we're talking about some viral stuff, we're talking about some cybernetic stuff, is happening here at this facility.
None of the above. This is a facility for those who are so cognitively damaged that they are dangerous. Not much more than that. We are not a cybernetics lab or anything like that. We have some inmates with those backgrounds, but they are not allowed anywhere near those facilities. Of course, as I say that, there has now been a power outage, and they are likely on the loose.
Can I roll security and insight to get a read on her?
Sure.
One success.
You believe she's telling the truth.
Am I picking up any feelings of deception or anything like that?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like,
You are not.
Okay.
But she does look generally like, fuck, I need to get out of here. That's what you're feeling. Because she just came to the realization that, yeah, some of her most dangerous patients who are not just like, I'm cognitively damaged. They're people like Jack here who are not necessarily at his level, but may have skills in various areas that might even be higher than some of yours, who were imprisoned for a reason, who now have a bunch of drones lying around.
Doctor,
Captain.
Are any of your staff still... Do you have a status on your staff?
Do I have a what on my staff?
Status? Where are they? Are they alive? Are they
Many transferred to a different facility as the explosion hit from base, whatever that was. And the Borg started taking over and beaming down into the facility. Our security crew, I believe they're all dead. Sadly, as many of the doors started opening, many of the local people from this system simply cut it and run. There may be a few medical staff here who stayed at their post. You understand this is not a typical Starfleet facility. This is primarily private.
What sort of weapons were available in this facility for your security team?
Type 2 phasers, maybe one or two Type 4.
And we just have to assume that those have been taken by...
You would actually have to have security clearance to do that. Granted, some of our inmates might have had the time to do that, but this has all happened very quickly. It's possible that those weapons are still locked up. If you'd like, you can even check on them to see if you can grab them for yourselves. I have not dared brave these hallways to get it myself. Otherwise, I would be sitting here with a much larger weapon than the one I've been using to fend off my death. Waiting for people like you to arrive.
Real quick, was it assumed, because I kind of assumed, but I didn't specify and understand if, because I didn't specify, it was not assumed. Did we secure the runabout?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay, thank you.
Although you did have that nanite infected person go away by it.
Go by, but go near it, but not
Not go
go
in
in
it.
it.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, but still, by it is dangerous.
just shuttles flying off in the distance.
Yeah, well, that's not. Oh my gosh,
No, you're professionals. I would have assumed that would have happened.
I appreciate that.
Beep, beep.
This is on
Green
Star.
Shuttle, not the best. Okay, so Doctor, are you telling me this facility is at this point is a loss?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. In no uncertain terms, I have responsibilities to protect the entirety of the Federation, as it seems to be at threat with what is happening here. If this kind of thing were ever to get off this planet.
What thing, sir?
Well, I'm not sure, Doctor. I was kind of hoping you would be able to help. And then, yeah, one of our own away team has been infected almost in an airborne fashion with nanites without being fully assimilated or any notion of being collected or being connected to the collective. We also have intelligence saying that the Borg collective shut off or terminated its connection with this cube upon recognizing that it was being infected with a virus. And that was the big boom boom you saw up in the sky, was a Borg cube exploding as it effectively committed suicide, trying to enter an unstable transwarp conduit.
So that makes a little more sense.
But I'm glad that I can help you, Doctor.
Well, let me help you.
Thank you.
So, this was a wild request that Jack had made not long after he had gotten here as a patient. We use a particular medical device for therapy in a way that we cannot, in a way that protects the counselors and therapists at this facility deal with some of these very dangerous minds. It is a neural interface of a type where one person puts this ring around their head, the counselor puts the same manner of device on, and they can meet in a mind space, so to speak. That way, it is a place that these two individuals may not even have to be in the same room, yet they can converse and explore some of the things going on with patients internally that they may not be willing to or able to express in a physical fashion. Now, when Jack had arrived here, he did what Jack does and obviously thinks about any possible threat that could happen to this facility and come up with every contingency in the world. And within, God, hours, he had a list, right? A list of ridiculous scenarios that would never in a million years happen.
Let me just interrupt you there, Doctor. By chance, was this one of them?
Of course it was.
Yes.
Fucking course it was. So we made some concessions for the list, and we showed him what we had here to try and build a bridge with this dangerous individual who had just committed a murder, to try and open him up and get him to talk to us a little more, to see what we could do for him. One of those contingencies was that he would have knowledge of this device, and his grand scheme was to put it on himself and a drone and confuse the collective with whatever is going on with his mind so that they would go haywire.
But you say that Mr. Jack is secured in his holding area
Until the Borg stormed this.
until the Borg storm this place.
As Commander Noth and Wrench head downstairs, but before you get to the facility you meant to, power is restored. And back in the office with Captain Itani, the chief there says, "Oh, your friends must have restored power. That's wonderful. Let me check in on Jack now." And she quickly types in a series of security codes and does a retinal scan on her desk. As you can see, oh my! And she turns the monitor towards you, and Jack is in his cell, sitting across from a Borg drone, who is tied to a chair with a bunch of wires he had apparently ripped out of a panel, and they each have one of those devices on their head, and they are unconscious.
Uh-oh.
They're unconscious?
They're
Wait,
unconscious.
which they? They as in
Jack-
plural?
Jack and the drone.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Atani to Commander Noth.
Captain?
Have you restored power to the facility?
No, sir. We're on our way to the lab.
Well, you heard that, Doctor. How do we think power came back on? Do you have redundant systems that would have delayed this long?
No, that would have been someone activating or fixing something, I would imagine. But most of my staff is gone, so I would guess it's one of the inmates.
Of course it would be. Doctor, I have to believe that Starfleet has, or this facility, in order for Starfleet to entrust this facility, would have some backup plans for catastrophic protocol. And I assume you've already enacted part of that by evacuating your staff.
Yes, and I tried to implement the second part of that, which was blowing up this facility. And wouldn't you know, someone had disconnected
How about that?
that to the bottom. We have a very interesting inmate here who is an Adosian named Koth. who is an engineering genius, and it would not surprise me at all if he was the one that restored the power to this place. You know, Dojian's those three-legged guys, except he only has two.
Why does he only have two?
Childhood accident, I've been told.
Does he have all three of his arms?
Yes.
Ah. So your assumption is that he reestablished power. Do we have any sort of control to see all of the facility? Do we have? Is your self-destruct sequence potentially reoperable, or?
I mean, if someone were to work on it, yes. I don't have the engineering capability.
Oh no, I was curious if it might be turned back on like the power miraculously.
Only if someone were to have rerouted that to a different
Indeed.
location. Right. Hard telling, not. Commander Koth and Wrench, along with the security personnel, as you get closer to the lab and subsequently the same engineering space area, you hear almost like a grinder power tool kind of machine being used. You're muted, Commander Koth.
We were in the room when the doctor described hearing power tools being used and then seeing the legless Borg, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
However, there were a lot of legless Borg, though. Not just
Yes.
one.
Your definition of cool.
Lovely. Am I free to move yet, or is this procedure started?
My understanding is we haven't gotten to the lab yet.
You are just arriving, which is why you're hearing some things.
All right. So I used my tricorder in the direction of the drilling, and like, what is it?
Sure. Give me or actually, Commander Koth also has a tricorder on her. You guys can both make the roll if you'd like. Reason and science, reason and engineering.
Reason.
Difficulty is 1.
Engineering is
2 successes, both 5s.
Excellent.
Yes.
I have a 1 and an 8, and both successes.
Fantastic. So we are now back to our maximum of 6 momentum. And actually, with Jenica, I had spent some threat. Noted. You pick up the life signs of an Adosian male. And some other minor life signs. And weird,
Minor as in?
Well, they read more as energy signatures than they do life signs. And if you were to look and make like a heat signature, it would seem like there were a number of 50-degree appendages. Mostly legs.
Fascinating. Doctor, I think it would definitely be good to keep an eye on this, but we should probably move to the lab and proceed before I'm not exactly myself anymore.
Agreed. Ransom, Jellicoe, please watch the door.
Aye. As you walk in, you do see that is actually one large area. To the left, there is the laboratory. To the right, there is the engineering section. And in the engineering section, you see a very tall Adosian male who is using thermal regenerator with one hand and some mechanical tools in his other 2 hands as he is grafting Borg legs to himself. And he's currently up to 5 additional legs on top of his 2.
Why?
Kapla!
And he turns
Why?
around with, let's see, 5 legs with those tools in his hands.
7 legs.
Yeah. See some guests we have.
Yes. Would you mind if we use the facilities over here?
It's a free country. You want some legs?
No, thank you.
Yeah,
As
but
long
with
as
the
you do not
legs.
have designs on our own.
Oh,
That's
yours are working
fine.
perfectly fine. I've opened myself a new shop. See, there's lots of extra ones lying around. Can't let those go perfectly good robotic legs. Look at this. And he takes one of those wrenches and he slaps it on the side. Ah, you like the sound of that? That's some fine grade armor on them. Better than me
You
old
do
too. I will. Oh, you ain't looking so good, fella.
No. Yeah, but this code is working just fine.
Hey. You think you already caught the cuties, mate? I think I'm just gonna keep away from me. I'm not getting the same infection as you. I've made sure of that.
But that's why we're headed over here.
We're going to try to fix that, yes.
You need a hand. Your arms pop up.
Not at this point in time, thank you.
You do you.
Why the legs? The hands would have been so much better. They're so much more dexterous.
What did you say to me?
Perhaps he is going back for
Why
that
the
later.
legs? The arms.
Commander Wretch, do
What?
not antagonize our host. It
This
is
my
dishonorable.
shop. Listen,
Just asking a question.
I've been off balance and stumbling
Logically,
around.
it would just be easy.
Shut your mouth. I've been off balance and stumbling around my whole life on these 2 piece of shit legs when I'm supposed to have 3. All right, and then
All right. If it makes you happy.
I apologize
I killed a
for...
bunch of people like you and grafted their legs to myself. But no, unethical, not right. You can't go around killing people, putting body parts on yourself. Federation didn't like that at all. Especially when I killed the ones who made fun of me and I did it to them. That's justice, I say. Perfectly in keeping with many cultures. Eye for an
Sir?
All right. Carry
Eye
on.
for an eye.
eye. Eye for an eye, you got it. The Klingon gets it. Anyway, no one's using these legs no more.
I agree.
I'm going to finally be able to run that marathon.
You will run it well. May you be victorious.
You can outrun a one-legged man, right? You can outrun a one-legged man? 7. I got work to do. This 6th one is giving me a real bug of it. He turns his back to you.
All right.
Great.
Let me know if you need help later on.
He doesn't even... It's a Klingon only.
All right, Doctor. Where do we begin?
Please get up on this table. Rosie has no idea what this procedure entails. Just tell me what to roll.
Now that power has been restored, there is a computer nearby where you could probably access.
Great. Taking that cue, Noth is going to go check out the computer and see what information she can garner about the chief and this procedure.
Right.
Rich just kind of shivers on the table.
Removing Borg nanites. Not a fun thing. I will actually...
I assume it's going to be less fun for him than myself.
Yeah,
So,
it's
that's
always
fine.
It's always fun for you. You're a Klingon. You get to see some action.
Ah,
This is how you restore honor to your family, way of life. It's an extremely difficult process to reverse. The character, if the character dies from that injury, they become a nascent drone. If the character's injury is stabilized, they must add to 1 threat at the start of each scene. Do not succumb to the nanoprobes. Well, we don't actually have a problem with succumbing to the nanoprobes currently, because there is no collective taking over our dear friend's mind. Until they have the nanoprobes removed or their injury is healed. To do this, you need to roll me a control and medicine, difficulty 4.
I would like to spend a momentum, please.
Oh,
Take 2 or 3.
Maybe 2.
so there are some interesting things
We have
you
6.
can do with momentum, including cause a complication,
Oh,
which is something that a lot of people don't use that for. And in this case, you could cause a complication to the nanites, not to yourself.
interesting.
You could, and this might be like Q-Brain on the ST, and I like you guys. But with my Star Trek Technobabble mind, you could cause the nanites to suffer something that makes it easier for them to remove.
All right.
So what you do know so far, different scenes in this game have traits, right?
Mhm.
This facility got hit with a pressure blast.
Mhm.
One of the traits would be that there's broken glass everywhere. Another trait, until it was reversed, was that there was no power. In this case, the traits that Chief Engineer Wrench's drones have is that they are directionless. They do not have a hive mind to do anything. And I will let you think that through as far as how you can get rid of these in his body easier.
Would it be a complication for them if I just instructed them to exit?
Yes,
Somehow?
that would be a complication for them.
Okay.
Oof.
At this point, you are their queen if you were to
You just
do this
tub.
correctly.
Let's try that.
Technically, someone with a greater knowledge of cybernetics and computers might be able to do this himself.
Like the 6-legged gentleman over there.
Or Chief Engineer Wrench.
8. Yes. All right. What am I rolling to get these things to exit me and put them into a self-contained?
Or is this a joint test? Do we both have to roll?
I would say this is a joint test. You're going to need a neural interface. So Commander Koth is going to take your medical knowledge. You have that cybernetic kit with you that you said you brought?
Yes.
You're likely going to plug it into that interface that Commander Koth used at the computer terminal.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to come up with a command to get them to exit you. And Commander Koth is going to have to somehow attach this to your brainstem. Or perhaps one of those nodules that has blossomed. Whichever.
I think the nodule should
Lost
be
is a nice way
sufficient.
of putting it.
Okay.
Yeah. So is the command like a safe word?
It's definitely pineapple.
So we
It's
need
always
to pick
armadillo.
the right word.
No, I mean it's more like you're writing a quick program. You're
Oh, okay.
even if you were to,
All right.
this could be something as simple as you're creating a stronger life sign or a signal of the collective. They would probably flock to that. So even replicating something like that would cause them to leave. So in this case, Wrench, you're gonna use your cybernetics focus,
Yeah.
your control, and your engineering, giving you a 16. Roll me at least 2 dice, unless you're spending momentum.
Can I have 2 momentum for this, please? Thank you. Sorry, I'm gonna roll 4.
Commander.
So do I
Noth-
roll mine
What do we get
first?
here?
Well, he's writing
So-
the program.
Oh, cool.
Yep, and then you will be.
Quick point of note for rules as written, we actually have to use 3 momentum to gain 2 dice.
Yes.
It's a progressive cost. So to use all
Oh, I get
all
you.
to get 3 extra dice, we use all 6 momentum.
Right. Or you could buy
Or
threat.
just threat.
Yeah. So we have
threat- oh,
plenty
yes,
of
true.
we have plenty of momentum.
And I can always make more.
So at the same, so what is that? My determination at the same time?
Ooh.
I mean, you could.
That's an auto
So
crit.
so if you do, that's an auto crit, but the first extra die that you buy after that is cost 2 momentum.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So
I mean, you could do that and then just buy 1 die.
Yeah, it would not be a bad move at all.
I'll probably use the determination to start.
So using a determination,
And then-
you will be going against one of your values, I believe, correct? In this case,
Going against, you said?
going against the value, looking for adventure. Because in Wrench's mind, he loves cybernetics. He loves computers. This might be his only chance to truly become a melding of man and machine. However, duty and sacrifice cause you to be concerned about things like your crew.
And humanity.
Such a
My
shame.
humanity.
Such a shame. What you could have been.
All right. So I sacrificed that. So how many dice am I rolling? Let's put it that way then.
3 dice.
3.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right.
And already you have 2 successes.
All right. So what do we need? It was control and what? Engineering?
Engineering. So you have 16.
This is good.
Oh, thank God.
Do
So I
you-
have a
and you have
13,
a-
a 13, and a 5.
So, and you have cybernetics as a focus, correct?
Yes.
6
Okay.
successes, right? Because he got his
Yes.
determination.
That's
Yep.
yes.
Get out,
winning.
demon.
That is the winning.
This house is clear.
Well, not quite out of the woods yet. You have created the program, and it is flawless. This is the
Elegant.
best bait the board could ever take. You are the Pied Piper of the goddamn collective.
Oh, and that flew.
Now, our resident Klingon doctor, would you so try and do the honors of somehow connecting this to his body?
Yes. So, what device did you write that code on? Was it the computer that I was looking at, or?
It was. We had a computer and
Yeah.
my cybernetics and everything. Just so it's whatever. You'll see it right in front of you. So
We're going to say it's the computer console at the actual facility.
whatever can handle the best. So
Okay.
pour myself
I'm just
some more rum
asking
ale.
for purposes of how do I hook this up to you? So we're going to take
Ask the replicator to make some chords.
So,
essentially like an Ethernet cable and kind of plug it into your face.
yes. I'll actually
Because-
allow you to use your daring and medicine on this one because you're a goddamn Klingon and
Or would this be bold?
this is an
Bold
enemy.
medicine?
Yeah, sure. This is an enemy that you want to vanquish and eradicate.
Yes.
You can claim
They are
that they've taken
parasites.
down a Borg drone.
Like those damn tribbles.
Yes.
Yes.
We could have all been
Oh, God,
tribbles.
Borg tribbles.
It's triples all
That's
the way down.
another. Come on, we'll do that another time. That'll just be us sitting around going, "Coo,
They are in
coo."
Star Trek Online.
I wish to eat more grain. Pet me.
Quadrido K later.
No, there are triple character sheets or player race.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
As long as I can play a Borg tribble.
Did you roll?
Not yet. I wanted to double check on the number of dice with you. So I have my 2.
Yes.
And then I want to spend momentum.
You can
help
spend a
with this.
threat because you have bold, right?
Yes. I think that's how that works.
Yeah, bold. When you buy a D20 using threat, you may re-roll a single D20.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, that's worthwhile.
Yep.
Yeah, just do 1 on that.
So you're going to add 1 threat.
Okay, so then I'm up to 3 dice.
Yep.
Is that enough? Are people comfortable with that?
What's the difficulty again?
It's now down to 2.
Okay, and you've got a focus that applies.
Yeah.
I
And you get a reroll on 1. Unless you're
Yeah.
phenomenally unlucky, this should be fine, right?
yeah, I mean,
Yes.
unless you know,
Oh, kitty.
Great.
Yeah.
It's more
Unless I roll 3 20s, I think I'll.
If you roll 320s, he's dead, and then we're all dead.
All right, let's see how this goes.
320s, please. 320s.
I have 120. But then the other is a 10 and a 5.
Oh, and then you get
Sweet.
3 successes.
So go ahead and re-roll that 20 though.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
don't have a complication.
So then that's another success.
Fantastic. You take this bizarre looking cord and you grab wrench by his face. Kapah! Right into that thing. What happens to you is bizarre. You feel all of the nanites in your body swarming out of this port that is now in your face. They are flooding out
Talk
of your
about a
nose,
dirty pimple there.
your mouth, your pores, your eyes, your ears. And
No.
they're even crawling on the outside of this cord. And before long, they are all out of your body and into the computer
No.
network of the hospital.
Well, that's unfortunate.
But
You would have written for a containment area.
you also start to go into shock
Okay.
because your body temperature is probably 60 degrees. Your lips turn blue. You get clammy and you begin to shake.
Okay. I do have emergency medicine. Can I roll to assist resuscitate?
You may not. I'm going to say he's dead. No, I'm just kidding. You can absolutely roll that.
Okay.
Fuck you, Q.
Damn cues.
All right. So I'm gonna roll to try
Look,
to
you
not
can't
let him
kill me. I'm already dying.
die of instant hypothermia.
Give me
Okay.
my coat.
So that's a reason in medicine roll.
Yes.
All right. I have 1 success.
It's enough. You're able.
And I have a focus. So that would be 2 then.
Oh, all right. He not only is stabilized, but he begins to regain color. Comes out of his.
That's not great.
He comes out of his troubled shock. You apply a hypo spray to his neck. You're looking all right. I would say give him 20 minutes and he's probably fit for duty. Till then, yeah, he's on light duty. He's able to. Although mentally, this has probably been a lot for you. What do you feel, Wrench?
Yeah, because I miss my little nano friends.
Noth
It was
kind
my
of
chance to really connect with my cybernetics.
So you have a program that brings all the Borg to the yard. You could command them to go into your cybernetic device.
I do. I put them into a self-contained area. It was part of the program that I wrote.
I'm not going to make you roll for it because you rolled so well on doing that they're the rats to your Pied Piper.
Mm-hmm.
So you now have them contained. They're out of the computer's system and into one device. Federation might actually even be thankful that they have a good sample to work with that are living and not dead in a Borg corpse somewhere. Very good. Back to Captain Atani, Noba, and the rest.
Everything's going great.
The director is still looking at the monitor, and she goes, "Oh," and flips the screen over to you. The Borg sitting across from Jack has started moving.
Oh.
And Jack hasn't.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
You get a beep on your comm badge.
Go ahead.
This is Admiral Baudet.
Admiral?
We have received long-range sensor communication from Starbase 214 that indicate a large transwarp conduit has opened. And within the hour, this sector might be overrun with Borg vessels.
Admiral, we have here at the facility, we have reached that level of protocol where they initiate self-destruct. Self-destruct has been terminated. Per our conversation earlier, I assume I have permission to terminate the facility.
If that's what you need to do, obviously, first and foremost, the Borg need to be stopped. Whether it's their reason for coming here needs to be stopped or by any other means, I leave it in your capable hands. I'll be contacting the other ships to begin the potential for emergency evac of the rest of the planets in that sector. Otherwise, we may have to form an armada to stop the Borg if they should arrive and do what they do.
Admiral,
Which
we will,
they might do anyway, because that's what they do.
Indeed, Admiral. We will we will proceed with evacuation of this facility as safely as possible. Is there I'm assuming this is secure comms.
Yes.
Do I have any? It appears that one Mr. Jack is been incapacitated, but we also have a situation where he may have, and bear with me on this, sir, transferred his consciousness into a Borg drone. Do you mind if what are your orders there? Do we need to secure Mr. Jack?
I would confirm that before anything, because if that is the case, that would truly not. Yeah, no, that would be awful. Is it possible that he's just unconscious?
I'll look over to the doctor.
In some kind of coma? I mean...
I'll look over to the doctor. You have life-saving capabilities, correct?
Please keep me apprised of the situation.
I am. You do have the ability to check life signs on Mr. Jack.
No, I'm assuming you went back to the main office.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so did I? Okay, yes, I went back to the main office.
Right.
So, Doctor, do we have the ability to check the status of the vitals of Mr. Jack?
It appears he is unconscious.
Simply unconscious.
Simply unconscious. We are registering brainwave patterns, if that's what you're asking.
Are they consistent with his records?
They are as erratic as usual.
So they are okay. Great, neat. Do you have the frequency codes in which we would be able to beam Mr. Jack out of his holding area? I assume those shields protecting his holding area.
Correct. And she hands you the codes.
Cool. Autonomy to Commander Noth. How are we doing, good doctor?
Procedure was a success.
Wonderful. I am so very glad to hear that. Please exit the lab and return to the director's office with as much immediate haste as possible.
Aye, sir. And Noth is going to wish their new six-legged friend a good day.
7.
7?
Oh, he may have added more now. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who can keep count anyways? Oh, by the way,
Can we take him with us?
till that green old bird, I disrupted the whole self-destruct thing. No one's blowing up my shop while I'm down here.
Speedy future to you, my friend.
And you.
Try some potato sack races. I hear they are fun.
What the fuck is a potato?
You ain't gonna fit a potato sack. What are you
Jesus.
talking about?
I think you put your legs in a sack and hop.
He's like a mega
It is-
centaur.
It is a form of competition.
Centipede.
I
It's a
believe you would
centipede now.
win.
Centipede.
Oh god, a
I think the
centipede.
centipede could win a potato sack race. Whatever. Moving on. Discussion for another time.
Perfect. All right, so you two make your way up to the director's office. The
Yes.
crew is now back together. Captain Atani has received a message.
Yeah, okay, so am I within earshot of everybody, or how much do you want to do? Because I'm perfectly cool with them just hearing that last part of my comm. Just get an ETA on any support ships. All right, thank you, Commander. Did we get Commander Noth and the Chief back? They're back in the office?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Team, the Borg have arrived. Doctor, with your knowledge of Mr. Jack's knowledge and capacities, can he help us?
If you were to convince him to do so, yes. He shut them down once. Somehow.
Indeed. We have to wake him up in order to communicate with him. Unless are there comms in the room to see if we can.
You could just go down that level.
Okay.
And
Or you could have the people in the ship beam him into that office.
Okay.
I mean, just out of character, if we beam him here, could that disrupt whatever he's doing to the Borg?
Oh god.
The doctor tells you that the range of that neural device is pretty significant. It's within a quarter mile, so no.
Okay.
Can we beam him out with that shield up?
Well, I've got the frequencies
Yes.
to hop around. Okay.
I could probably work some magic with the shields.
Yeah.
And Noth is going to sort of slap Wretch on the back and say, and Wretch has a computer program that is... I'm trying to think of something that the Klingons really, really like.
Blood wine.
Blood
Death?
wine. Like the best blood wine.
Ractigino.
Commander Atani, this is Saleya.
Go ahead, Commander.
We are now engaging the Borg. The other Federation ships are already under attack.
Indeed. Hold ground as best you can. We'll try and do what we can from down here. Do not, for any reason, and pass this along to the rest of the impromptu fleet, do not in any way beam aboard or send any of our personnel board the cube.
Affirmative.
Okay, team. So the Borg are here. We are no longer have the ability to have the ship beam Mr. Jack. And the runabout, if we had pre-programmed it, we would be able to remotely use the transporter. Unfortunately, we had no way of foreseeing this circumstance and probably cannot do that. We would have to send somebody to the runabout to do that.
The director gives you her security codes to use the turbo lift. Now that power is restored, she says, you have access. If he can't help us, I'll even try to go with you. I suspect if what I just heard is true, that the Borg will be beaming down here in an attempt to assimilate him again very soon.
Absolutely.
No bueno.
Yep. So, okay.
So perhaps we should go to him, and if we cannot communicate with him, at least remove him from the equation.
Absolutely,
We should
Commander.
nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. Wait, wrong game. Wrong universe. Yeah, let's go down.
Yeah. Or okay, director. Let's proceed. Show us the way.
And we change scenes down to the lower level of the facility. In the house that Jack built.
That was rather ominous. Yeah. Okay,
Alright.
so we enter. What do we see?
The walls of his particular enclave have scribbled writing all over them. A lot of different theories he was working on, a lot of different extremely high math, things that you might not have even seen in Starfleet Academy. However, he is sitting in a chair across from the Borg drone, who is still completely tied up. However, the Borg is now chanting its typical, "You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile. We are the Borg."
That drone.
It is awake and connected to the
Yeah,
collective.
that drone has reconnected with the collective. I will go ahead and tell Veranda, please terminate that drone.
Aye, sir. And she takes the neural interface off of it and shoots it in the head.
Thank you. Please remember its neural processor as well, and let's destroy that.
All right.
That way they can't trace exactly where we're at. It doesn't have eyes. The collective doesn't have eyes down here, presumably.
Good plan, sir.
All right.
The guy with 7 legs.
What?
He's got all those Borg legs. Oh no!
Why do you say these things?
All right. Commander Noth.
Yes, sir.
What can we do to wake Mr. Jack here?
She's gonna walk up to him and give him a slap.
How you slap him? It's very important in Klingon society.
Oh, that's true. Backhand.
You're challenging him to a fight to the death?
No, I don't. No, if you slap
With the
him
bitch slap?
open-handed, isn't that
It's the
an
back of your
insult?
hand is a duel to the death. We just watched this episode.
All right, then I apologize for the confusion. Open hand,
Okay.
front side of my hand.
All right.
There.
The
Go.
one where
go
they
for the
think
bitch
Gowron's a
slap.
changeling.
It's so good.
His you bust his lip. He does not wake up.
Do we
Okay, I'll
need
try
him to
hypo
wake?
spray then.
Use the
I was just-
hypo
Doctor, I
spray.
was-
Hold on, he might be easier to carry if he's asleep.
I was
Carrie.
instructed to wake him.
The hypo spray enters his bloodstream. If you're monitoring him, you notice his adrenaline levels spike. He does not wake up.
Captain, he is not waking up.
Thank you, Commander. Doctor, do you have any other kind of stimulant that might help here in this facility?
You might have to go in there and talk to him. He's done this before. He's very stubborn.
I'm sorry.
Captain, permission to go in.
He used to call it like a power nap. Or when he just
So,
told us to piss off for several days at a time, he would literally just be in his own mind. Especially
Would
after
just, like-
the death of his friend.
Phase him on very low levels, just to like as a gnat, just to wake him up.
He's got so he goes into a self-induced coma.
Correct.
Can he still feel pain?
You hear a number of footsteps on the floor above you.
Doctor, can he still feel pain?
No.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to take the thing and put it on.
Stand down, Lieutenant. Doctor?
Yes. I don't even believe that would work on a frame. Got like 4 brains.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
it would.
Oh my
Well,
friend.
yeah. That would potentially, 8 ways from sorry. Okay. Wow. So we've got, all right. Commander, here are my instructions.
Bueller.
We are facing a situation where very few people in Starfleet have to enact. We are coming upon a situation where we may need to bombard this planet, and I, or Mr. Jack, or both, may still be in this facility. I need you to make the call to the commander. If there are Borg knocking on this door, I am giving you the order to beam up to the ship, or at very late, or I'll beam back to the runabout and get to the ship as quickly as possible with the instructions to bombard this facility and obliterate it from existence. Do you understand my orders, Commander?
Yes, sir. Can we no longer communicate with the ship? Why can this not be communicated?
This is something I feel is I don't want to distract the commander while she is battling the Borg with silly things that may get in the way of her ability to work at maximum effectiveness. Do you have any other questions, Commander?
No, sir.
Doctor, Director, what have you? Is there anything specifically I need to say to this man to wake him up? Or just go in there and say, hey, wake up, bud.
When I have gone in the past to observe one of the other counselors, it was surprisingly not uncommon for there to be someone we could actually talk to that wasn't a persona of Jack's. Every now and then, Julian Bashir was in there. You see, he absolutely fucking hates Julian Bashir, and he sits there in a little dunce cap, like an idiot. While it sounds and acts like Bashir, it is a reflection of Jack's many personalities and his own reflections upon Bashir. That might be one of the only ways to get to him. Otherwise, how do you talk to someone who doesn't want to go on living and they are facing their own grief over a heinous crime? Maybe you appeal to his ego. It's tough to say.
So I need to go in and speak to Dr. Bashir.
And Jack.
And Jack.
Have fun.
It's possible Jack thinks he is triumphant and that the Borg have been destroyed, and that he's a hero, and that he doesn't need to come out anymore.
Remind him that he has lost. Remind him that he has more to do to be victorious and be a winner in this fight.
Absolutely, Commander. All right, well, Commander, you have your orders. Doctor, if you would please grant me access to the room, I will enter.
Oh, you guys are already in the room.
Oh, okay. I thought
I mean, I smacked the guy, so
yeah. Okay. Okay.
So
Gotcha.
you put the device in your head and you go in.
Yes. I start thinking a call out to first to Jack, to Mr. Jack.
As that happens, those footsteps from upstairs start to fill the double doors as they come down the stairs, and you see kind of like the reflection of like a laser pointer every now and then.
Meow? Cat?
For
What?
Wrench, Noth, and Noba, that the Borg are slowly making their way downstairs. From the footsteps, it sounds like there are many.
Hey, you remember that armory the doctor told us about?
I think it's a little late.
I know.
It's not impossible that Jack had contraband in here. I have no idea.
Now it's shank or be shanked.
Mr. Jack, are you there?
What is it? No, you see, we are all here, and as you look around, there are 12 Jacks with their backs facing you, all scribbling and writing different things. Their hands are covered in blood. And in the corner, like a trained chimp, is Julian Bashir on the ground with a dunce cap and a lull. As Jack continues to scribble on the walls. What is it? We've already won the day, and there's really nothing more to do, is there? Well, why don't you fuck off and see you later.
Indeed, Mr. Jack, I'm actually here because the threat has regrouped, and they are literally coming down the stairs as we speak.
And why should I believe you? And who are you? Oh,
my name is
Four Pips. You're a captain. Yes. But
yes.
Perhaps you're a counselor dressed as a captain.
Not trained for this. You're absolutely right, Mr. Jack. I could be. My only request is that that you have some faith in the fact that if I were a counselor, I would probably have something a little more predictable for you to come up with.
He's boring. And he turns back and he goes to his board. And the Jacks all kind of laugh as one.
Okay. Is Dr. Bashir still working with his lolly?
He is.
Dr. Bashir, I've heard stories of your frontier medicine.
Word does get around, doesn't it? Yeah, you're not gonna get through him that way. He's put up a wall between himself and many others after killing his friend. He does not want to leave this place in fear that he will, be condemned by others. He already condemns himself. Why be condemned by lesser men? That's what he's thinking.
Clearly. Doctor, is there a way we can reach him? Do you know of a way? Something that would that we could work together and convince him that while his work was successful initially, the Borg have regrouped, and are coming with all they have now, and we need Mr. Jack.
Cutting to outside of the mindscape, the Borg have entered the room. They are at long range.
The captain's words were, when the Borg are at this door, they're not quite there yet. Noth doesn't want to leave until they really, really have to.
So when do we start shooting?
Now! We can definitely shoot them now.
Yeah.
As they work out a battle strategy, back to the mindscape, think about how you want to do that. Bashir tells you the only person that really matters to Jack now is Jack and Patrick. This place is a funny way of tricking the mind. I'm not Julian Bashir.
Dr. Bashir, have you seen Patrick here?
I could be looking at Patrick right now, Captain. Think it. Be it.
I see. I will, based on, I would assume I looked at the profile when the Admiral.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I will do my very best to imagine the profile in which I saw, down to the close, not of the day of the incident, but of a happier time.
And so your appearance changes in this mindscape, and you look like an overweight, somewhat balding, frizzy-haired, that's all white, Caucasian male in his 60s to 65, who you remember his mannerisms. He was cowardly. He was very unsure of himself. He almost feared Jack, even though he listened to everything he had to say. And as this appearance comes over you, the Jacks stop writing.
Jack.
And they turn around. And they merge into one Jack.
Jack, it's cold in here. Have you looked at the coupler, or the atmospheric couplers?
The couplers. Why would I look at the couplers?
Oh, then
Are you cold? Are you cold?
I am.
You want me to make it warmer for you?
Please, if you would be so kind, Jack. You are one of my dearest friends.
He begins sobbing.
Jack, what's wrong?
And his hands, when he turned around, his hands no longer have blood on them. They have blood on them again. I was angry, Patrick, and you died, and you shouldn't be here, but you're here.
Jack, I've not died. How would I have died? How could I be here if I was dead?
I killed you, and I was there, and that wasn't a program. That was there, not here. And I'm sorry, and I haven't been able to tell anyone that this is. And he's for the first time ever, he's at a loss for words. He's like shaking and crying.
Jack, that's not. What's. I don't know what's happened. Because clearly I cannot be here and dead at the same time. That would be.
That's impossible. That is impossible.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It is. So I didn't do it. I'm just crazy, and I must have imagined it. Well, what do you want to do, Patrick? I've been thinking about what I would do if I saw you again for a very long time.
Well, Jack, there are people that could use our help.
Starfleet, stop talking to me, but I guess That's because of what I did. So maybe that means you're alive, and I'm still connected to Section 31 in the Starfleet Intelligence. So yes, they do need me, don't they? I knew they would never do that. I'm just too brilliant for that to be an asset to be pushed in a corner somewhere.
Absolutely, Jack. So are you willing to help those people? Are you willing to?
Yes, but who are we helping? We already did I imagine my shutting the Borg down too, or is that real?
From what they told me, you were successful, and you helped. You helped greatly. But they're back. They've regrouped. They've adapted. And you're the only mind that can save them.
Okay,
Jack,
let's wake up. We need to wake
yes.
up, Patrick. Take off your thing. We need to go.
Just take it off. I don't. Are you sure?
Yeah, you take it off. You like this, and he wakes up, and he's out.
Okay, and then I'll go ahead and.
As he's out, yeah, you hear something behind you, and it is the captain. You guys have already begun firing on the Borg, which are walking in to the space. Would each of you give me a security and daring roll?
I'm spending momentum.
You're already in daring. Boy. Oh, bless. I got a 1.
That's
On a
fantastic.
17.
Yeah, 2 and a 4, so 2 successes over
Oof.
here.
Well, if I'm shooting, it's control and security, right?
So, Noth got 2 successes. You got a 1, Wrench?
So I got a 1 and a 17.
So the 1 is 2 successes. That's critical.
Okay. Does my cybernetics help at all?
No. Maybe targeting them, but
The
they're all
17 does
cybernetics.
not matter.
What'd you get, Nova?
2.
2 successes. All right. The 3 of you
generate any momentum.
Let's see. With the Type 2 phasers you guys have,
I was Type 1.
roll some damage.
I got a Type 2.
All right. So you strike a number of Borg. The front line of them fall to the ground. It takes a little bit for the others to kind of climb over them, but they are still advancing. But yeah, as you shoot them, you turn around and the captain is back, and Jack has stood up out of his chair.
We need to get out of here. Like, beam us up, Scotty.
Also, Rick, I generated 1 momentum with untapped potential.
Awesome. Thank you. 6. So, leave? No, we can't leave. They would just follow us. They're everywhere. No, we need to shut them down again. This is what we need to do.
Hey, Jack, how do we do that?
Hey, the guy in the chair has got his head blown off. That's the one I connected with. We need a Borg. We need like one of them, and we need to crown them with this device so that I can then recrown myself, hop into their minds and scramble them. Or, that they just came back, didn't they? So they'll just come back again. So what we need to do is, and he begins muttering and like walking off in the corner, and he pulls off one of the panels off the wall that has like a particular set of writing on it. Option B. I just go in there and we need something to make the Borg to have different bait. Better target. Not me.
Better.
Somewhere else.
Chief, what about the program you wrote?
I was the tube of nanites we have.
You made a program. What kind of program did you make?
And I explained the program to him and everything, and I show him the vat of nanites we have.
And while he's doing that, Noth is just screaming and sounds like she's having the time of her life, firing upon these Borg.
They're close enough for you now to use your batleth. If you...
Yes, please.
Excellent. Begin chopping them up. Yeah. Did you made the program?
Yeah.
Yeah. Connect those with those nanites that connected back to the collective.
Yeah.
Tell them to use the program. Tell them to go really far away. Think of somewhere that's really far. Delta Quadrant. I don't care. Anywhere but here.
All right. I try to work on something to devise a program to go far, far away. A land never heard of.
Give me. We're gonna do reason and engineering, and you can use your cybernetics focus.
Reason, engineering, beautiful.
Feel
And
free
how
to use as
many?
much momentum as you want.
Yeah, it's like, what's the
Second that
difficulty?
notion.
Fucking
Hold on.
good,
So
use
that would give me
6.
2 dice. Seriously, if I use 6, how many dice would that give me?
3 extra.
Is it 3 extra, so that
Yeah.
puts you at
Alright.
5.
So I'm taking all
somebody
6.
Are we counting Jack's? Is Jack assisting?
Jack will assist.
Yes.
Yes!
Some of
Jack breaks the rules.
So- Ooh, that's not a good one, but that's not. All right. So,
Jack has-
what'd you say again?
that's going to be
Was it
reason and
what
engineering.
engineering you said?
Reason. So you got a 17.
Recent 17.
Yes.
So I have an 8, 6, 10, and 2 20s.
Oh no.
We might. Oh, we're out of momentum.
Oh no.
You spend it all
Um,
to give him those dice.
I used it all to basically get rid of them.
Jack also had 3 successes because he got a 1. So you got 6 successes and 2
Although I have-
complications.
Although, I mean, don't I, with cybernetics, don't I have,
If you rolled
Um,
less than a 5, it would have mattered.
less than a 5 is what it matters?
Well, 5 or less, yeah.
Well,
Can you
I
re-roll
tried.
with bold engineering?
He didn't spend threat.
Yeah.
Hold on. What is
Yeah.
it again?
Bold
I
engineering.
know you.
Bold is when you use threat to buy an extra die. Extra
Mhm.
dice, you get a reroll, but you use momentum instead.
Gotcha.
But we have no momentum.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
but yeah, if we would have used threat to buy some of those dice, we could have used the bold thing to reroll.
Should have used our resources
Okay.
differently.
But we
Well,
didn't know.
This is okay.
Yep. And,
We're fine. We're fine.
You-
We're fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
You succeed.
Yeah.
You think
But
of
It's a Christmas miracle.
Jack mentioned the Delta Quadrant as being somewhere very far away,
Yeah.
and you worked very quickly. And you selected a location in the Delta Quadrant, the first thing that popped into your mind, and hit enter, and it uploaded into the collective. And not long after, the Borg begin to beam out. And you get a comm chip that
mhm.
the Borg have left via transwarp network the entire sector, and that the battle has ceased. Whatever you guys did worked.
Mr. Jack, you
Let's leave
you
now.
and the chief have saved us. Oh,
I fixed it. Yeah.
okay.
He can I see the program that you did? I want to see where you sent them. You hand him the pad.
I do, because I'm kind of in shock at the same time that this worked.
And he's reading
Yeah.
it, and he's like, interesting. You, you sent him to the Delta Quadrant, what exactly are the Kazon? And we will end it there, as Chief Engineer Wretch has doomed the entire Kazon population to being slaughtered by the Borg, thinking that they are the best species in the entire
Better
galaxy
than
to
Starfleet.
wipe out.
So.
Because the Kazon
Oh my
are stupid, and I hate them.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I thought they were the only population the Borg had decided were not worth assimilating.
But
Oh, their
now
hair
they
is
think they're
stupid. I
amazing.
googled
Yep.
them.
But I made them look pretty.
Yeah, but now they're the cat's
No, like, their
ass.
hair looks like mine. Never mind. Their hair is great. No, this is a travesty.
Thank you guys for playing this crazy, somewhat horror, somewhat bizarre sanitarium filled with Borg craziness one shot.
This
Yeah.
is fantastic. I
Yeah, I
love
love it.
this.
Well, this has been Saturday Night One Shots. My guests tonight, we'll start clockwise, starting from the man in the upper left, Lieutenant Nova.
Hey, Big Dad on Discord. Watch Iron City by Night tomorrow night at Carrying Comfort Studios. It's a fantastic time. Check out the Carrying Comfort Discord. It's great. I hang out there. I post pictures of my cats.
Good reason to go. Following him, we've got our captain par excellence, sometimes Patrick, in the Mindscape, which you did pretty good. You emulated Patrick pretty well there.
Yeah, I'm glad. I watched the episode this afternoon, and I was like, okay. I didn't realize I was gonna would have taken probably a little bit more notes, but no, that was good, man. That was great. If you do want to find me, Cushman Zada on Twitter. It's my Cushman ZADAH. I've got other stuff, but right now I haven't really shaped it all up. It's with an H on there at the end of it for my Twitter handle. Yeah, I think that's my my Twitch handle, but again, I'm still forming up, solidifying my digital presence. So other than that, yeah, if you're interested in reaching out to me, I do love Star Trek Adventures. I love playing it. I love running it. And if you ever have any questions, by any means, ask. I've been in the game with Modifius since beta, and have loved seeing all the changes and the recent surge of content that we're getting. And fingers crossed we get Mirror Universe books soon.
Ooh.
Because then it adds another. And yes, I can't wait for the Klingon books. Those are going to be so much fun. The one I've seen so far, the digital version, is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
My leather-bound one,
Oh.
and everything else they've got coming. Jim Johnson, I think, is a major content producer for it, and he's got some really cool ideas up his sleeve.
Are there Cardassians coming?
I think,
are out.
yeah,
What?
Cardassians
Why
are
are you
out.
playing Cardassian?
They're out Gamma
Oh
Quadrant,
yeah, Cardassians are out.
or Beta Quadrant, yeah.
How interesting,
Yeah.
Commander.
They haven't given the full Klingons are the first race that they've given a full treatment to. I have to imagine Romulans are next.
Yeah, probably.
Again, that's guessing. I don't actually know. And then we'll see from there. But yeah, I have to imagine we've got some really good content coming.
Excellent. Chief Engineer Wrench, played by Jay. Tell us where they can find you.
So you can find me on Discord and Twitter as One Unbeating Heart. I am usually floating around, although I'm usually stalking on really bizarre hours because I do work as a nurse. So I'm all over the place. I have no typical sleep schedule. But anyways, I do love Star Trek, and I have definitely been following Lower Decks, which I want more, and I might try to convince Rick to let's play a Lower Deck scenario, because
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god, that would be so fun.
I would do it. That'd be a blast. You kidding me?
Why is he smiling?
but totally, yeah, no, this has been a great. I actually met them in Philadelphia, which will probably lead on to our next two people.
Speaking of our Philadelphia players who saved the nation, we've got
Yes.
Commander Noth, Chief Medical Badass Klingon. Where can they find you?
Yeah, Kapla.
Ah!
Second, everything that Big Dad said. You can find me on the Gehenna Gaming Discord as regular size mom. I love seeing pictures of everyone's cats. Yeah. I'm pretty elusive otherwise.
Are you in any upcoming games?
Care to elaborate, Big Dad?
Any werewolf like games?
Oh, Carrion Comfort Studios, Rage Across Birmingham. Check us out on November 15th.
You have a standing invitation back to play Dark Ages 2 with me for Vampire. The Masquerade to continue the SafeCon session, which is almost cliffhangery because I had way too much material. So
yeah.
We'll be back
so you can also see me play Captain Keats, the Bruja Librarian, on Rick's Dark Ages game whenever that resumes, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, you can see me as a vampire and a werewolf.
Ooh, and a Klingon.
And a Klingon.
You're all the things I wanted to be when I was little. I wanted to grow up.
Yeah,
vampire,
I'm living
Klingon,
the dream.
Werewolf. All right. You can find me, DefMalKVN, all over Twitter, Facebook, or just search my name, Rick Wheel. I am one of the co-founders of Gehenna Gaming.
And Gehenna.
Content developer guy. Yeah, check out Carrion Comfort Studios. Our friend Wes over there. He's a total treat. He plays the games with us.
We love Wes.
All these people play games with us. We'll be back tomorrow with some. We'll watch Iron City by night. But Monday we've got the Monster Hearts stuff going on. Tuesday I will be interviewing Keith R.A. DeCandido, Klingon and Star Trek author, who is going to be talking to me about his contribution to the Klingon Core rulebook, along with Jim from Modifius, who is a fantastic guy. And
yeah, Jim is great.
Besides
Jim Johnson.
Jim. Yes.
No, Jim Johnson. I mean, Jim Johnson.
Yeah.
He is great.
How would you like to accompany me for that interview?
I would love to, providing schedule allows.
All right, I'll let you know.
Yes.
It'd be great to have you, because Jim is someone I knew from the Star Trek community, and I played Star Trek Adventures with him for a while. And yeah, Star Trek community is just like the family, World of Darkness, horror, tabletop people. Super friendly people who, you make like lifelong friendships. So stay tuned. We'll have some Klingon content coming this winter. And to
Yes!
build a Klingon house from the ground up. They're going to have to regain some honor, and we're going to have some fun.
That sounds awesome.
So I will take any invitations on people who want to try and build this house back up. Even if I have to make an overlay with a ton of goddamn windows, that doesn't matter. We'll have fun. Anyway, Qapla', live long and prosper, and thank you for joining us tonight. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Night, everybody.
Are we done? We're done?
Are we done? Bueller?
Bueller? I think we're done.
Bueller?
Rick took his ears out. I think we're
Are
done.
we still alive though?
I don't know. Let's see.
I don't think so.
Nope.
I have like a dead man.
Oh,
Are we
wait.
still
No.
alive though?
They still hear us. I don't know.
Hi!
I don't think so.
Nope.
I have like a dead man.